where Dundee are playing Aberdeen, tuned to BBC Radio Scotland Digital, 810 medium wave, and BBC Radio Scotland Extra on BBC Sounds. For Open All Mics, you'll find that on 92 to 95 FM and BBC Radio Scotland on BBC Sounds, and both are live online at bbc.co.uk/Sport Scotland.
Football from Sports Sound.
Brilliant drop of the shoulder!
From BBC Radio Scotland.
There's no substitute.
And a good afternoon to you if you've chosen to listen to us here on BBC Radio Scotland. Extra commentary of Dundee against Aberdeen here at Dens Park. Perfect conditions for the match. The sprinklers on just now. We are waiting the arrival of the two sets of players, but it's an excellent attendance, particularly, you would have to say, from the visiting supporters who've travelled the hour down the road and are here in huge numbers. It's around about between 4,200 and 4,500 Aberdeen supporters here today. The Dundee fans have come out as well, and it's always a keenly contested fixture. It is a fixture that Dundee were unbeaten in last season, and they inflicted Aberdeen's last defeat on them in the Premiership. In fact, since then, the only loss that Aberdeen have suffered, and it was a draw in the annals. They were beaten on penalties by Celtic in the Scottish Cup semi-final, but apart from that, it's generally been an incredibly seamless march to Premiership points along the way. Peter Leven did his bit at the end of last season. The St Johnstone managerial target, who is here today, part of Jimmy Talline's management team still, as the two skippers down there lead the players out. Graham Shinney is marching his way onto the park. Simon Murray is the armband for Dundee this afternoon. No Jordan McGee for them today. 3 changes for the home team, and one of those alterations is in goal. John McCracken comes back in for Trevor Carson. There's a debut for Clark Robertson, who began his career at hometown Aberdeen, so he makes his debut against his first club. And Ethan Ingram comes in as well, the summer arrival from West Bromwich Albion. So McCracken in goal, looks like a back three. Kumateo, Portales, Robertson, Ingram, Larkesh wide, with Braybrook and Silla in the middle. Cameron perhaps just ahead of them, and Murray and Tiffany up front for Dundee. It won't be far off that anyway. Aberdeen 2 changes. Shinney, the captain, and Keskinen come in. Palaversa's on the bench. Papa Gay is out injured, and we'll find out for how long, and at least we'll have more idea how long he's out for come Monday, according to the manager. So it's Mitov in goal, Devlin, Rubidzic, Malloy and McKenzie, Shinney and Nielsen, Keskinen, Clarkson, McGrath and Nisbet. Duke has returned to the matchday squad and takes his place on the bench, having integrated himself back into the side of the squad in the last few weeks. The pre-match photographs been taken. Simon Murray is surrounded by an entire team of mascots there, all those Dundee youngsters wearing the navy blue and white jersey. Graham Shinney is the odd one out in amongst all that, with that crimson red kit that Aberdeen are wearing. Indeed, they are this season, the home kit, Willie, paying homage to the one that you guys wore at the tail end of the 1980s into the 90s. Probably the last Aberdeen top you wore, in fact, would have been the one that they're paying tribute to.
Yeah, possibly. I haven't given it much notice, Liam, but thank you for reminding me. But it's all about today and today's performances, and the way the season has started for Aberdeen. It just couldn't have got any better than Jimmy Talline, leading the club in the right direction. For Tony Dock, of course, a really good start to the season in the League Cup, but the league hasn't been the same. Perhaps as we go into a minute's applause, I would think, Liam, will leave that to you.
Yeah, Fabian Caballero played his part in that fabulous Dundee side of a couple of decades ago. He was a well-loved character around Dens Park. He's passed away at the age of 46. It's a real tragic early loss. Caballero is part of that fabulous team. You think of Caniggia, Nimsadze, Ravanelli, Spironi. What a fabulous team it was, and it thrilled and excited the side of the supporters here for a good few years. And currently that is just being announced to the supporters who are inside Dens Park, that there will be a minute's applause ahead of kick-off for Fabian Caballero. He's a real maverick, Fabian Caballero. 27 goals he scored for Dundee in his time here. And he sadly passed away at the age of 46. I remember watching Dundee lose 5-1 at Easter Road against Aberdeen, and despite the fact they were hammered on the scoreline, they took plenty plaudits from that performance. Caballero played that day, so even in defeat they thrilled. Anyway, nice tribute it was. Dundee are going to kick the game off, shooting from left to right towards the Bobby Cox end of the stadium in the navy blue, white shorts, white socks with the navy tops. Aberdeen, as I said, all in red in the first half. Just wondered if Dundee have turned them there, and Aberdeen are going to shoot towards the visiting end, which is absolutely packed to the rafters here. I wonder if Dundee took centre as to who won the coin toss, but anyway, it is Lyle Cameron for Dundee getting the feel of the ball and shifting it out to that left-hand side for Zayed Larkesh, who's driving at the Aberdeen penalty area. He's into it, he goes down, the opening second of the game, but there's not too long a protest there. Indeed, Larkesh bounced straight back up, and Aberdeen get the ball clear out over on the Derry side for a throw-in to the home team. But that was quite the positive start by Tony Docherty's men. It
was very positive, wasn't it? You know, right from the kick-off, looking to get the ball forward down that left-hand side. Larkesh going down in the box. I think he's fallen over. I didn't see any contact, although it's always difficult with that pylon you know, in our way, but you know, there was no real claims for the penalty either, so I think we're right in our assertion that it was a positive start, but no pen.
Aberdeen have it with Keskinen, just rolling it back to Devlin, then to Shinnie, and then to Rubidzic midway inside his own half. Low ball to Devlin, under pressure from Tiffany. He gets it forward to Nisbet, who finds Keskinen on the touchline, and then Shinnie goes back to Rubidzic. Fabulous conditions for the game today, Willie.
Oh, wonderful.
Not much of a breath of wind either.
No, it's perfect conditions to play a game of football, and the pitch itself, the surface is superb. So there's no really any excuses at all for the players out there. We're hoping for, you know, an exciting game of free-flowing passing football.
I'll keep you up to date as best I can as we go along with the score lines as they go along across the country today, as McGrath wins a throw-in on this near side. It might actually have come off the hand there of the Dundee man, but it's play on, and it's going to be a long ball down the left for Aberdeen for McGrath to chase. Turned back to his goalkeeper by Clark Robertson. He's back in Scottish football. He was linked with a return to Aberdeen a couple of seasons ago, as McGrath looks to take it over on this near side, and he's been bundled to the deck. That's going to be a free kick against Portales, and Aberdeen have this opportunity right out on this near side touchline.
Yeah, and he's usually pretty accurate with the delivery. Leighton Clarkson, who's lining up to take it with the right foot, curling it into a dangerous area and getting the Dundee defence tested early in the game.
Yeah, this free kick, it's, as I said, it's just a yard or two away from the touchline on the main stand side. It's level with the edge of the D of the Dundee box. Now a big line of players along the 18-yard line. As Clarkson looks to bend it in with the right foot, it's poor. Will he give him the big build-up? That's generally what happens. And Simon Murray batters it clear as Jack McKenzie gets onto it in his own half and turns it back to Mitov, just at the edge of his box, rolling it with his side foot to Shinnie.
Yeah, it's so disappointing that, you know, I'm always surprised that you know, teammates don't give the Leighton Clarkson a bit of a mouthful after, particularly defenders going up there looking for the ball, looking for an opportunity to go and attack it, and it's just such a poor delivery from the youngster. So disappointing.
McKenzie bowls it back to Shinnie, then to McKenzie again on the near side, infield to Sivert Nielsen. Will then square it to Devlin, who's in a central area. He's encouraged to shoot, which he does. It's blocked. Two Dundee players, one of them was Cameron, and it's picked up by Larkesh down the left-hand side, and sliding in Keskinen, and out it goes for a throw-in. The Finnish winger thinks it's his ball, but it's gone Dundee's way. The referee this afternoon for this one, Callum Scott. Stephen McLean's on VAR duties. That was Keskinen sliding, and he clearly felt it was an Aberdeen ball. But it's gone Dundee's ways. Montrose go 1-0 up against Alloa in League One. Just up the road from here, the chance to go potentially top of the table for Montrose. As Clark Robertson slides in, prevents Keskinen getting a clear run in on goal there. It's Dundee in possession down this right-hand side. They have it with Ingram. midway inside the Aberdeen half. He's up to about level with the edge of the D of the Dons box. Swings the cross in, headed away by Malloy. McGrath challenged by Silla in the middle. The ref didn't like it. Dundee fans don't like it just now because the free kick's gone Aberdeen's way. Midway inside their own half. Goalless in the very early exchanges here, as it is in the other three Premiership 3 o'clock kickoffs. Of course, we've got St Johnstone Celtic to come at 6:15 this evening, and that goal for Montrose, the only one in the Scottish senior leagues this afternoon so far. Very early in the piece, though.
It is, but this game's opened up, pretty emphatically in terms of both sides are very keen to get the ball forward early. And I've noticed that so far this season, Liam, that the sideway passing, the slow build-up, the backward passing as well when it's on to play it forward. This, I think, slowly, draining out the game, which I think is good for the game as a spectacle.
Nice flick by Clarkson. Nisbet loses out though. Dundee are able to get it away, and Tiffany on the turn. Nielsen with the challenge. It now breaks to Clarkson. He'll shift it to his right for Keskinen. And out to Devlin over on that right flank. Halfway into Dundee territory, rolls it to the edge of the box. Dummy from Clarkson, gets it to Nisbet. Tried to work it back to Clarkson. Portalis read the danger, and Dundee able to get it clear. Now Aberdeen can be caught short at the back. It's Tiffany all of a sudden across the halfway line, driving forward. 2 Aberdeen players around him, but he gets away from both of them. He slips it through to Cameron, right hand side of the box. He tries to chip for goal. It's over the bar. It's a goal kick. Docherty, the Dundee manager, claims Mitov got a touch on that one, but it's going to be a goal kick. Well, that was a rapid counter attack from Dundee. It stays 0-0.
It was, it's going from one end to the other. Aberdeen having the opportunity. Clarkson Holmes getting in, but Portalis reading the situation well, and then the ball going to the other end, and so quickly as well. And Leo Cameron getting the opportunity to. I think he's trying to dink it, Liam. I think he's just trying to dink it over Mitov in goal. I thought Mitov got a touch on it, I must admit. I thought it was heading for the top corner, but obviously not. But very swift counter attack from the home side.
Still goalless, but it's an energetic game. Ali Shrive got that goal for Montrose, incidentally. That one I just told you about from the third tier as Dundee come down the left hand side again. It's a low ball into the Aberdeen box, which Rubičić deals with and finds Shinnie, and then out to that right hand side, and it's Devlin, and he's been challenged by Silla, and Dundee get it back. It's actually been a decent start by Dundee. They've lost their last couple, lost to Ross County in the league, knocked out of the League Cup by Rangers last week. I wasn't at the game, but from what I gather, the scoreline didn't really do the Dundee performance any justice. And it is Clark Robertson who has it. Long ball out to that left-hand side. Lakesh giving chase, stinks it away from Devlin. It's going to go behind the line for an Aberdeen goal kick as the Dundee supporters pay tribute to Fabian Caballero again. The 7-minute mark. He wore the number 7 with distinction for this club as Mitov collects just outside his own 6-yard box. Long ball up looking for Nisbet. There's a little push by Nisbet and Robertson, certainly thought so, but play on. Dundee have the ball anyway, and it's turned back to their goalkeeper John McCracken. Will be hoping to be named in Steve Clarke's Scotland squad, which will be announced in the week to come ahead of the next 2 Nations League games, which take place next month against Croatia and Portugal respectively. We're now 8 in here, and it is nothing each, nothing between them so far.
Nothing at all, but the intent's there. Both sides are the same mindset as to take the game to the opposition and take it to the opposition as quickly as possible. Not enough a lot of square passes, certainly not enough a lot of short passes. Nothing wrong with that. I'm not trying to decry it. I think I would much rather see the intent, which is certainly there.
Murray almost managed to find Cameron at the edge of the Aberdeen box, but it's been rolled back to Mitov by one of his teammates behind the pillar that Willie mentioned earlier on. It's not the greatest of views right at the back of the main stand at Dens Park. We do as best we can though, as Malloy goes back to Mitov in the 6-yard box, pushes it forward low to Nielsen, and then out to Malloy. Dundee pushing the game well. They're pressing Aberdeen. They're not giving the Dons players too much time on the ball as Nielsen goes long looking for Clarkson, tries to control in the knee. Ingram all over him, he goes down, and then McKenzie goes down. There was an altercation there with Ethan Ingram. The referee blows the whistle. Aberdeen have a free kick midway inside the Dundee half. over on this main stand side at Dens Park. 9.5 minutes in, nothing each.
Yeah, I mean, it's a definite free kick. I would have thought the referee, Callum Scott, might have actually had a word with Ingram on that occasion, because he's just taken Jack McKenzie out of the game as McKenzie was going down the left-hand side. You know, it wasn't too violent, but there's no doubt that it was a bit cynical. It's a free kick, and you know, Leighton Clarkson looking to take it again, and I'm sure that Jimmy Tolino hoping it would be a better delivery from him.
St Mirren have gone ahead against Motherwell, and it's Killian Phillips, who was on loan at Aberdeen last season, who got it as the free kick comes in, and Rubidzic attacks it 6 yards out. Flag's gone up anyway as he heads over the bar. That was a better delivery from Leighton Clarkson, though. It stays, though, Dundee 0, Aberdeen 0, and it is at Fir Park. Motherwell 0, St Mirren 1. Killian Phillips, who's got the goal on loan from Crystal Palace, as he was at Pittodrie in the second half of last season. So that's the first goal of the Premiership weekend. It comes to St Mirren, who are looking to pick up another 3 points, having beaten Hearts a week ago. Remember, you can get the scores at any time at bbc.co.uk/sportscotland. Scottish Cup first round underway this weekend. We watched Broxburn come through against Dalkeith last night on the channel. Very difficult to get those scores as the matches take place at the moment. Unfortunately, half-time and full-time we can do, but it's difficult when you're working on the game here as well, keeping an eye on the SPFL when they don't give you the actual scores to find out on any other platform. But anyway, you'll get them half-time, full-time scores at the website as McKenzie bowls it forward. A little push again by Nisbet on Portales.
You're obviously allowed to do that in the modern game now. 2 hands pushing the back twice. Referee ignored it completely.
McKenzie almost gave it away at the back. Malloy recovers the situation well and finds Rubidzic. He's now driving out of defence, rolls it low out to the McGrath on the near side. His ball forwards cut out by Ingram. Ingram for Dundee. Down the right-hand side it goes to Sammy Braybrook. Gets it to Tiffany, crosses in. They're claiming handballs outside the box, but no free kick. Aberdeen come away with it, with Nielsen flicks it with the outside of the boot to Shinnie in the midfield, and out to the right it goes. They've switched it out to Devlin. Devlin across the halfway line. Clarkson's made a run ahead of him. Instead he checks his run and rolls it infield to Shinnie. Shinnie looks up, but it's a misunderstanding with McGrath, and his ball into the area comes all the way through to McCracken. 12 minutes in, Dundee 0, Aberdeen 0.
Yeah, it's a poor one from the Aberdeen captain, isn't it? You know, he's got plenty of time there. He can take his time, he can look up, but he's got to be much more accurate. But yeah, again, I mean, that's a kind of a measure of where Jimmy Tillene wants to see his fullbacks as well. You know, McKenzie down the left-hand side getting forward, Devlin down the right-hand side getting forward. You know, and it's really attacking, and it's pleasing in the eye as well. The Aberdeen fans are really enjoying it.
Shinnie finds Devlin on that right-hand side. Rolls it down the line to Keskinen, and back to Devlin. Field to Sivert Nielsen. Comes across the halfway line in the centre circle, looking for an option in red. Then he slips and he's had it nicked off him by Tiffany, and he's found Braybrook, who shifts it to the left of the centre circle for Cameron. There's a trip by Graham Shinnie, and that is a free kick to Dundee. Left of the centre circle, Nielsen, rare error from him there. Seemed to be in comfortable possession, Willie, but I think he's having a go at a few of his teammates for not giving him more of an option.
Yeah, he does that. You know, I think it's a good tactic when you've just given up possession, but no, he's a tidy player, but he likes to keep it simple. Nielsen, he likes to have options, didn't have too many options in that case, and that's why he's berating his players, really. He's looking for them, you know, to be shown much quicker so that he can play that pass.
Jack Hamilton, penalties given Wraith Rovers the lead against high-flying Falkirk in the Championship. That's the first goal in the second tier this afternoon. Kelty Hearts have gone 1-0 up against Annan, Queen of the South, likewise at home to Dumbarton. There's a later kick-off in League One on BBC Alapa tonight. Cove Rangers are Broth. No goals in the League Two matches taking place today as yet. Here's Tiffany almost getting it through to Cameron. His ball forward cut out, and Keskinen turns it back to the edge of his own box. And it's now back with Mitov, who turns it out to Devlin on the right-hand side. It's a long ball from Nicky Devlin. Keskinen giving chase. He might get in behind here. He has done. He's away from his man. Rolls it back to Nisbet, the edge of the box, and he scores! Kevin Nisbet, side-footed, bottom right corner of the net to send more than 4,000 Aberdeen fans into delirium. The red march continues. Fantastic finish from Nisbet. Really Really poor from Kumateo, though, you have to say. It went over his head. Keskinen put it on the plate for Nisbet. Just inside the box, side foots it home. Dundee 0, Aberdeen 1, as the Dons look to go top and make it 12 successive wins.
Yeah, well, you can see where Dundee problem lies in terms of giving up goals so easily. Kumateo there, all he has to do is play the ball out. I don't know what he's thinking. It's a long ball, it's flipped over the top. He goes on to it. I think he tries to control it, miscontrols it completely, puts it into the path of Keskinen. Keskinen then down the right hand side does what a good winger should do, gets his head up, looks for a target, and there is Nisbet. And when Kevin Nisbet gets a chance like that in the box, he's not going to miss it. As simple as that. You can see him, he steadies himself, he gets onto his right foot, knows exactly where it's going to go, and he just strokes it into the back of the net.
It's a third Aberdeen goal for Kevin Nisbet. It breaks the deadlock here as the sun comes out from the skies above the city of Discovery. Dundee, my goodness, awful defending, and it's been the story of their recent matches, albeit they always threaten, so you would expect Dundee to have opportunities themselves today, and they've got themselves up the pitch straight from centre over there. They've got a throw-in level with the edge of the 6-yard line on the left-hand side. Aberdeen battling to try and win it back. There's a ball into the box, though, which Rubizic heads behind for the corner. Dundee corner over on that far side, the Dundee left.
Yeah, I was saying before the game that Rubizic's looking calmer, but he should deal with that much more comfortably. He's down there, the ball's at knee height, and he's down header, and it comes off the side of his head and goes out for the corner unnecessarily. That could have been cleared up the park.
Zach Ruddin's put Queen's Park 1-0 up at East End Park against Dunfermline in the Championship. Dundee looking for a quick-fire response here, and it comes. Kumateo is the target. He heads it back across well, and then the header is straight at Mitov. It was Larkesh got the head onto it there as Aberdeen come forward with Shinnie. His ball forward is cut out by Kumateo, and it's out of play for a throw-in on this near side. Yeah, Billy Kumateo, he's on loan. Well, he's here after 6 years at Liverpool. He's not on loan. He's played in the same Liverpool youth team as Rhys Williams, who was at Aberdeen on loan last season, albeit he didn't get much action at all. As Clark Robertson comes across halfway and rolls it out to Tiffany on the right, midway inside the Aberdeen half, down the line for Murray, gets it back from Simon Murray. Nielsen closes the door, though. He's inside his own box, but the Norwegian deals with it well and finds Devlin, who takes it away from Larkesh. Lovely play by the galloping Devlin down the right hand side, just crosses halfway and rolls it back to Rubizic, who has it. We played 18 here at Dens Park. Aberdeen then with the 1-0 lead thanks to Nisbet. Shinnie finds Nielsen. Now it's back with Gavin Malloy. I keep saying it, Willie, you can see why Damien Duff was so upset to lose Gavin Malloy. He really has taken to it so well as Nisbet picks up at the edge of the box. His efforts deflected, and it's behind for an Aberdeen corner. Firstly on Malloy, and then Willie can look at this corner. No,
absolutely. You know, wholeheartedly supported the performances that young Malloy has put. And I think he's only 22 as well. If I'm right in saying that, Liam. So, you know, great signing so far. Left foot, good in the air. Very intelligent player as well. Knows when to go tight on strikers. Knows when to sit off them too. So, no, he's been a fabulous signing. And Leighton Clarkson taking the corner down this left-hand side, looking for another good delivery. A better header, perhaps, from Rubizic this time.
Clarkson takes it, it's headed away by Murray on his own 6-yard line. Shinnie has it, plays it first time to Nielsen to his right. Nielsen looks up at the box and it comes towards Keskinen, heads it into the 6-yard area. Away by Robertson, and then Ingram rather, who gets it out to this near side where it's picked up by Braybrook, who goes long, comes off the Aberdeen player and out for a throw into Dundee on this near side. Lennon Miller scored from the penalty spot again. Motherwell level against St Mirren. Motherwell 1, St Mirren 1. That after Phillips opened the scoring. The lead lasted 10 minutes. Lennon Miller has cancelled that out from the penalty spot. So 1 apiece there. Still no goals in League 2. Still Kelty Hearts, Montrose and Queen of the South 1-0 up in League 1. Raith Rovers, Queen's Park have leads in the Championship, as Aberdeen do here at Dens. Ingram picking up the ball at the fringes of the attacking third, plays it back there to Sammy Braybrook, and then back to Portales on the halfway line to Robertson. Then Kumateo looks up left-footed, chip ball out to this near side. Mackenzie gets there ahead of Braybrook, Ingram picks up the loose ball, gets the ball, it's not a bad one either, and Devlin chests it behind for the corner. Just swung away from Lyle Cameron, who was 8 yards from goal. Devlin wasn't sure what was going on behind him, so he elected to concede the corner. And if you're in doubt, I suppose that's the best way to deal with it. We played almost 20, 1-0 Aberdeen here at Dens.
Yeah, definitely. Take no chances. You know, you've got the lead. That's been an exciting game so far. You know, the opening 20 minutes or so been really exciting, end-to-end stuff. But Aberdeen got the lead. No chances taking it back now.
Short corner to Cameron. Now Larkesh, left-footed ball, and he's just dinked it straight into touch over on this near side for an Aberdeen throw-in. What a waste. He's got 7 or 8 teammates in dark blue inside the Aberdeen box looking to get on the end of it.
And all you have to do is put it into an area as well. You know, you don't have to be that accurate when you've got that many players in the box. Just make it an inviting little dink round about the penalty spot and invite your teammates to go and attack it.
It's going to be a throw in here for Jack McKenzie up the line for the goal scorer Nisbet, who hooks it forward out to play for a Dundee throw-in as the Aberdeen substitutes go for a little warm-up, including Luis Lopez. Willie Miller, is that Duke there saying, or is it a boo? Surely not.
No, it's not a boo. No, I think that's coming from the Dundee supporters. The Aberdeen fans were applauding the substitutes, not necessarily Duke, but I think they've taken him back. They've accepted his apology. I think he's been a rather silly young man, maybe taking bad advice, but you know, he's apologised to the fans, to the club, so you know, let's get on with it.
Yeah,
and the fans that's the most important thing.
The fans aren't going to want to upset the apple cart either, which is going like a juggernaut right now. Here are Dundee down the left looking to change all that. Larkesh down the line looking for Cameron, bouncing off the Dundee number 10 and out for a throw-in over on the far side. It's picked up here by Shinnie. He's under pressure. He's been running in a challenge there as well, by the way, I think on Murray. In the aftermath of that, Murray was challenging him initially. Shinnie slid in to try and retain the ball. Murray's gone down. He's getting himself back to his feet just now. He's not pontificating at the moment, so perhaps it was just a 50-50 as Ingram picks up for Dundee on this near side and finds Sela, who rolls it back to Clark Robertson at the edge of his box.
Yeah, I think what happened there was Graham Shinnie overhit the ball, you know, and Simon Murray comes in for it. Shinnie goes along the ground with a slide tackle. There's no boot in the air. He wins it, but he does catch Simon Murray. But hey, it is a contact sport, you've got to remember that. But it's a good challenge, good tackle, and I don't think that there's any reason to give a foul. Totally agree with the referee.
Dundee United have gone 1-0 up. Louis Moult has put them in front against struggling Kilmarnock at Rugby Park. A little dink ball down the line here by Ingram, headed out by McKenzie. Dundee have seen plenty of the ball, and it's just perhaps the quality in the attacking third hasn't quite been there yet. The referee is telling the players to wait just a moment. It's back underway now. I'm not sure what went on there.
It was Kevin Nisbet was doing his laces up, and the referee was not allowing play to continue from the throw-in. Right enough, it was a dead ball. Tony Dock not happy with it whatsoever.
Alloa are level against Montrose, one apiece in League One, up the road from here at Links Park. As Dundee pick up with Portales down the line to Ingram, infield to Braybrook, looking for the lively Tiffany, and there's a foul by Rubitic, and it's just to the right of the D of the Aberdeen penalty area, or closer to the right angle really. There will be a free kick, little rash challenge by Rubitic there on Tiffany, who's trying to dance away from him. It's a Dundee free kick and it's in a good position.
It was a bit awkward, the challenge, wasn't it? I mean, to me, he gets a fair bit of the ball, but it's a way Rubic came into the challenge. It was from the side. It was rather ungamely looking as well. The referee decides to give it the free kick, and you know, down the right hand side, so 23, perhaps 24 yards out. Don't think it'll be a shot at goal. I think it's more likely to be a cross into the box.
24 just about on the clock here. Dundee looking to find an equaliser. I think what's gone under the radar a little bit, you know, there was a lot of fanfare about Luke McCowan going to Celtic and all that, but he is missed in this Dundee side. He was the difference the last time the sides met here. Braybrook takes the free kick, Meathoff comes and claims and lands awkwardly there. Dundee play on, there was no whistle, and it's away. Normally when you see the goalkeeper go down like that, the referee's whistle saves him, not on this occasion, but Aberdeen have it with Clarkson. Keskinen's gone down off the ball, and the ref stopping play because when Mitov went down, McGrath went down as well inside the Aberdeen 6-yard box. He's trying to stretch his left leg out there. It is 1-0 to the Dons.
A bit of a collision there just inside the 6-yard box. Mitov not happy with the referee, that's for sure. I thought he had it in his hands. You know, maybe when he's under pressure like that, the punch is perhaps the more sensible option. He had it in his hands, but he's then went into a ruck of players, really. There's 3-4 players in front of him, and it's turned him upside down, and the ball spilled. The referee gave nothing, so if it had fallen for a Dundee player, it would certainly be an easy opportunity to slot it into the back of the net, but that didn't happen.
So a little stoppage in play here. Just run you through some of the scores in case you want to be across them. 1-0 Aberdeen here, goalless Hearts Ross County, Kilmarnock 0, Dundee United 1, Motherwell 1, St Mirren 1, St Johnstone Celtic a 5:45 kick-off. Championship, the leaders here, United 0, Morton 0, Dunfermline 0, Queen's Park 1. Hamilton, Partick Thistle and Livingston and Airdrieonians are goalless. It's Raith Rovers 1, Falkirk 0. League 1, goalless Cally Thistle, Stennismuir, Kelty 1, Annan 0, Montrose 1, Alloa 1, Queen of the South 1, Dumbarton 0, Covar Broth 5:30 kick-off. All 5 games in League 2 at Bonnyrigg, Elgin, Peterhead. Spartans and Stranraer are goalless so far. Kevin Nisbet's 15th minute goal separates these two at the moment at Sunny Dens. Long ball forward is headed away by Malloy into the midfield. Portales gets his head onto it, nods it halfway into the Aberdeen half for Nielsen, heads it away. Fired forward by Kumiteo. Now he's found Tiffany, who finds Cameron wide right. It's Murray, level with the Aberdeen penalty spot. Murray then, little ball to Braybrook, cuts it across, blocked by Malloy, and out for a Dundee throw-in, level with the Aberdeen 18-yard line on this near side.
They've certainly had plenty of the ball, as you said, Liam. Dundee, they responded well to going behind, so you know they've created opportunities, plenty of possession. They've had a lot of balls into the box. Looks like a long throw-in coming in for Aberdeen. So they've tested the Dons. You know, the Dons' defence have had to be resolute and very strong.
In comes the long throw. It's flicked on there by Kumiteo. Clarkson gets onto it, and Aberdeen clear, and they're looking ahead on the counter, and it's Topi Keskinen driving forward. Dundee trying to get back, Silla trying to get back at him. Still it's Keskinen down the right hand side. Silla slides in, and out it goes for an Aberdeen throw in, level with the Dundee penalty spot. He is lightning, Topi Keskinen.
He is.
Silla did well.
Did well. He catch him. I thought that Keskinen had a yard, maybe a yard and a half on him, but he managed to get back. He's got big long legs, put the sliding challenge in, and you know, puts it out for the throw in. But you know, ball carrying, that's what that's called. You know, what a relief that is for Aberdeen defending, and Keskinen gets it and goes 70 yards with the ball. Brilliant.
McGrath to Clarkson, back to Nielsen, looks up at the Dundee box, stabs it forward, it might break to Devlin, who goes down inside the area. McGrath has it, plays it off the defender. It's gone behind for a goal kick, I think here though Dundee claim it was a goal kick, and the referee and his assistant over on the far side, Andy Milne, say corner to Aberdeen. Devlin was almost in behind there.
That's a definite corner. You know, Devlin going down, don't know why he went down. You know, maybe he was thinking that he wasn't going to get control of the ball. Certainly didn't look as though there was much contact. But again, you know, the full back right up the park, you know, taking part as an attacker, the little dink in behind, you know, almost managing to get it under control and having a strike on target, but the corner has been won.
Leighton Clarkson corner, right hand side, drives it in. McGrath tries to attack it, might get a second chance, and he hooks it off the post and behind for a goal kick. You can see what Clarkson was trying to do there. He was driving it in with pace to McGrath at the near post, but it stays Dundee 0, Aberdeen 1 here. 28 minutes played, the possession sitting at around 52 in Dundee's favour, but it is Aberdeen who have the lead here at Dens Park. Full commentary of St Johnstone Celtic to come later tomorrow. It's Rangers Hibernian live on Sports Sound after the 3 o'clock games here. Busy afternoon again, as always. Highlights to come on the telly tonight and tomorrow. Then European action with Celtic, Rangers and Hearts all taking part in the week to come. Hearts opening their Conference League campaign. They got to go to Azerbaijan before a trip to Pitaudry next week. Here come Aberdeen with Devlin down the right hand side. He wins the throw in over in front of the Derry over there.
I believe they're flying into Aberdeen as well, Liam.
That's the plan, yeah.
wise decision.
I would have thought so. There's a throw in Devlin to Shinnie, to Devlin on the touchline, rolls it back to Sivert Nielsen, then to Rubedzic. Shifts it into the centre circle, looks up, looks to switch it out to this near side for McGrath. Ingram read it. His header forward is picked up by Malloy. There's Murray all over him. Covers some amount of grass over the course of a football match, does Simon Murray. As Nielsen picks up, it's a dinked ball, looking for Clarkson, takes it down, puts it in low. First time looking for Nisbet, and it's gone out over on the far side, down by the corner flag for I think it's a throw-in the end.
Yeah, just on the corner flag. You know, a lovely little dink pass from Nielsen, wasn't it, to Clarkson. You know, but good defending as well, and you know, again, it's going from one end to the other. It's been a really lively game of football. Yeah, Aberdeen have got the lead, but you wouldn't suggest at this stage that Dundee are out of this game.
Aberdeen manager clutching the water bottle seems to be his thing during the match. He comes back onto halfway, Rubedzic, and now infield to Malloy. Side-footed forward to Clarkson, first time back to Rubedzic. Plays it short to Nielsen. And Nielsen to Clarkson, back to Rubedzic, side-footed into the centre circle for Shinnie. And spin away from his man, but he's lost out to Braybrook, and now it's Tiffany. It slides, recovery challenge there by Nielsen with the ball from McKenzie's cut out. Now it's with Ethan Ingram driving down the right-hand side for Dundee. McKenzie trying to bite back at him. Shinnie trying to redeem himself. Does enough to put him off. And McGrath has it and finds Shinnie. Shinnie forward to Nisbet. First time to Keskinen in a central area. Keskinen rolls it back to his 18-yard line for Malloy. He finds Mitov and he plays it short to Rubedzic. In a bit of trouble there when Shinnie had his pocket picked initially, but dealt with it well in the end.
Yeah, I mean, I think they do recover and defend and do respond to incidents like that when, you know, I think it was Jack McKenzie that lost possession initially.
Yeah, Shinnie's got it through to Keskinen. Nisbet's wanting it to his left. Keskinen's up to the edge of the box, shoots and scores! McCracken got a touch, but Keskinen drives Aberdeen into a 2-0 lead. The Don supporters in complete dreamland this season. Dundee stopped there and Keskinen raced into the area, rifles it home, and it's Dundee 0, Aberdeen 2. What a start to the season it has been for the Red Army.
It's incredible. You know, I think McCracken should be doing better though, I would say, Liam, although take nothing away from Keskinen. Listen, he had a choice, didn't he? Picks it up. You know, there's defenders trying to get back the park, but Dundee once again wide open defensively. OK, they're on the attack, but you've got to always think about the defensive side as well. Keskinen could have put in Nisbet. He did think about it. He looked up a couple of times, kept taking the touch down the right-hand side, and then just on the edge of the box, he pulls the trigger. It comes off McCracken's shin and rifles into the roof of the net to give Aberdeen that second. So it's dreamland for these Aberdeen supporters, isn't it? It's incredible. I don't know what they're checking. Yeah,
VAR check for a possible foul, but it's eventually he points to the spot, does the referee. I think they were checking a potential foul in the build-up there on a Dundee player, but the goal stands, and Aberdeen have a 2-0 lead here, and it's been a fairly even contest.
Yeah, it has, and you know, Dundee just marginally tipping the scales in terms of possession. You know, Dundee haven't been bad. They've played a lot of good football. You know, it's created the odd opportunity, but Aberdeen have been clinical, absolutely clinical in front of goal. You know, Keskinen at the heart of it, getting his head up for the first one, cutting it back to Nisbet, who, you know, you know that he's just going to take his time. You know that he knows where he wants to put that ball, and he slots into the back of the net. And then Keskinen on the break again, you know, running at the defence, having options, but making the right decision to take it on himself.
Yeah, and he's maybe thought as well, I've already given you one, I'm going to have this one myself. And he drove it home. As Willie says, McCracken's touch wasn't enough, and went through him high into the net, and Keskinen scoring his second Aberdeen goal, having got the winner against Queen's Park in the League Cup last 16. And it's a long way back for Dundee now at this point. They have played pretty well this afternoon. They'll feel they don't deserve to be 2-0 down, but it's going to mentally be very difficult for them to get their heads right to try and find a foothold back in this game, having had that double blow of the 2 goals. And Aberdeen, Jimmy Tilleen looking to match Martin O'Neill's Scottish football record of winning his first 12 games as manager. And they're in a fabulous position as it's picked up here in the near side. McKenzie couldn't quite keep it in play. It's out for a Dundee throw-in on this near side. Tony Docherty must be absolutely rocking about that.
Well, he's raging, isn't he? You can see him just on the edge of his technical area there. He's not happy. He's pacing up and down. He's barking out orders to his players whenever the ball is over close to him. So yeah, he'll be looking at that. He'll be thinking, if we've enough of the ball here, we should be doing more with the ball, and we're finding ourselves 2-0 down. That's because defensively, again, they've been all over the place. You know, you've got to plug gaps. You've got to have an idea of, even when you've got the ball offensively, that you've still got to defend.
Here's Braybrook for Dundee's in the Aberdeen box, smashes it across, cut out by Shinnie. And Aberdeen clear through McKenzie. The header from Kumiteo back the way to Robertson. 2 quick fire goals at Avonvale. Livingston 1, Airdrieonians 1. Kelly put Livy in front, Reid equalising 2 minutes later. Here come Dundee into the box, they come. Silla was almost onto it. Malloy does enough to get it away. Here's Ingram to the right hand side of the box for Tiffany's. Cross cut out by McKenzie. Down to this near side, it will go for a Dundee corner as they try and find a goal back here.
Yeah, still good reaction, isn't it, from Dundee? You know, the heads haven't went down at all. They've recovered. They know that they're 2-0 down. They know that there's a long way back. Aberdeen have been strong defensively, but you know, they keep testing that defence, and they're certainly testing it at this moment.
Only conceded 3 goals so far in the league, Aberdeen. One of those was an OG down the road from here in Perth. As Cameron takes the corner, it's a really deep one. It's to the edge of the box. Kumiteo keeps it in play, and then Braybrook lashes it high over the bar from almost 25 yards out. He's doing exceptionally well to beat Dimitar Mitov with a side foot effort from there, and he scoops it high into the Bobby Cox stand, and it remains Dundee 0, Aberdeen 2. 2-0 Kelty Hearts as well now against Annan in League 1. Goals from Mercer and Moore. And League 2, still no goals in the 5 matches taking place. Remember, the Scottish Cup first round is taking place this weekend as well. Doesn't feature any of the SPFL clubs at this point though, as that goes out to play for a throw-in on this near side, and Ingram will leave it for Partales. But it's been a fabulous start to the campaign for Aberdeen. It's been their best start to a league season since 2015. Well, you might remember they won their first 8 before going on an inexplicable poor run in the autumn. They were without a win in 4 or 5 league outings. They were threatening a title challenge that season. I mean, they just seem to know what they're doing.
They're well organised, you know, and I think the manager keeps it simple as well. You know, you've got the back 4, you've got the 2 sitting midfield players, you've got then the 3 supporting whichever striker it is. On this occasion, it's Nisbet, who's found his goal scoring, you know, boots early since coming to Aberdeen. And you know, they've got a strength and depth as well. You know, they've got a good squad, good pool. They can look to the bench if they need to change things, particularly in a forward way. Bezwin's coming back. You know, Sockler as well, who you know, will be disappointed. And Shaden Morris has done some wonderful work coming off the bench too. So there's plenty to choose from for the new manager.
Ingram in space for Dundee though, deep inside the Aberdeen half, level with the 6-yard line, pulls it back there to Braybrook, who crosses in. The goalkeeper thought about coming, changed his mind. Half away by Devlin, picked up by Larkesh over on the left hand side of the Dons box. To the left angle for Cameron, looks up at goal, he shoots and he tests Mitov, who makes the save. It pops out to this near side for Ingram, who crosses in. Then cleared by Gavin Malloy, out for a Dundee throw-in on this near side. One thing's for sure, if there's to be more goals in this game, Dundee need the next one.
Well, they do, you know, and that was pretty close to it. I felt that Mitov didn't see the strike until late. There was a lot of bodies in front of him. He certainly reacted that way, but he threw himself to his left-hand side. That was shoulder height as well. It wasn't too much of a stretch for him, but good save.
Long throw into the Aberdeen box, comes off a Dons defender, heads towards his own goal, but Shinnie's there to clear. Cameron fires it back out to this near side for Ingram. McKenzie comes to meet him, and out it goes for a throw-in. You can see the class of Lyle Cameron. He really has come on the last 18 months in particular. The Dundee youngster It's the number 10. You can see he completely and utterly relishes the responsibility in the team. There's more responsibility on him now, Willie, with Luke McCowan leaving.
Yeah, there is, but you know, he seems to relish that responsibility. You know, he's a confident young player as well, isn't he? He looks confident on the ball, and he's very effective too. 2 opportunities for Dundee have fallen to him.
Yeah, they might be in here. Murray's done really well, pulls it across the face, nobody there to tap it into the empty net. Brilliant work by Simon Murray. He just spun Malloy, put it across the face of goal. Mitov's nowhere near it. All it needed was somebody in dark blue to tuck it home, and they're back in the match.
No one there at all, no one reading the situation, you know, no one just breaking themselves to get in there, and Simon Murray did extremely well. He's read the situation. He's always on the move, as we know. He picks it up on the byline and manages to play it across the face of the goal. Just no one there. Big Rubizic it was that put it out for the corner.
Dundee's latest corner, they've had a few of those from the Dundee left-hand side in towards the back post. Beaten everyone again, though. Set plays from Dundee have been a real disappointment for them today. It stays Dundee 0, Aberdeen 2. We played 40.
You think it's easy as well, and it is relatively easy, to be honest. You know, don't overthink it. Braybrook it was from the left-hand side there, but overhits it. Way overhits it. Just put it into the penalty spot. Just pick a spot. Don't have to pick a man there. You just pick a spot and ask your teammates to go and attack it.
Cleared from the throw-in by Mackenzie up to halfway. Clark Robertson's onto it and turns it back to his goalkeeper. It's McCracken. First time out to this near side. Portales couldn't keep it in play, and that's going to be a throw-in on this near side. Ross County, incidentally, have gone 1-0 up at Tynecastle. Ronan Hale, who's just been an excellent signing, he's certainly replaced the goals of Simon Murray at Ross County, and they have a lead at Tynecastle. Their Hearts about to lose for the 9th successive match. Clark Robertson's misjudged it, too busy waiting for a flag there. Keskinen almost got in behind him. He has been bailed out by an offside eventually, but surely you got to play to the whistle.
It wasn't Keskinen that was offside, I can tell you that. I think it was perhaps McGrath trying to get himself back, but I don't know if he was really interfering with play. He's running back the park. The ball goes over his head. Keskinen was in. Didn't see him being in an offside position, but you know, it was given.
He's an experienced defender these days, Clark Robertson, and particularly in this age of VAR, you've got to just play to the whistle and deal with it later.
Yeah.
There's no, you're actually gaining nothing by that, trying to put pressure on officials. And Robertson picks up on this near side. He left Aberdeen for Blackpool. He had spells at Rotherham, Portsmouth, Ashdod and Israel as well. Picked up a hamstring injury pre-season, so his campaign's getting underway now as the long ball comes through. Murray might be in for Dundee. He's gone down. Is it a penalty? Yes, it is. And there might be a red card coming for Malloy here. I think he was the defender. The referee is going to his pocket. I think here he's trying Malloy to not look at the referee, but this might be Dundee's route back in. He's going to the pocket now. It's just yellow. Well, he's really lucky there. Dundee have a penalty. They may re-look at this, Willie. My first reaction was he could be sent off.
Yeah, you know, there's no doubt it's a penalty. There's no doubt that Malloy's caught out, that the challenge goes in. And who was it? Was it Tiffany or Cameron that went down in the box? One of the two anyway. And for me, it's pretty cynical. I think Malloy got caught out. And you know, the referee is waiting. Obviously they'll wait to make sure that the decision is correct, but you know, long ball should have been dealt with better. Malloy get caught underneath it, takes the player out, penalty given, and only a yellow card.
Well, Simon Murray's got the ball, he's put it on the spot. The referee's waiting for this check to be completed, and the check is complete. It is a penalty, but there's no upgrading of the card, unless they are having another look at that. It's not quite over, this check yet. I thought it was, but there seems to be debate about something else here. So all checks are complete, so the decisions are the correct ones, Willie, and Dundee have a penalty and a yellow card for Gavin Malloy. So we'll get Willie's further thoughts on that in a moment. Dimitar Mitov saved the last penalty he faced. This is coming really late in the first half here. Good time for Dundee to score. Just about to go into the final minute of the 45. Here goes Simon Murray. He's got a brilliant record from the spot, generally speaking. Up against Mitov. It's a right-footed penalty. It's in. He sends the keeper the wrong way. Bottom right corner. And Dundee are right back in the game. It's their captain and Dundee supporter Simon Murray clenches his fist in celebration. Dundee 1, Aberdeen 2.
Well, pretty calm, had to wait a long time as well, didn't he? You know, Simon Murray, so he had to stay focused. But it was cool, it was calm, it was a side foot with the right foot, putting it to his right hand side, sending Mitov the other way. So, you know, expertly taken, what a time. And I must say, they deserve it. They've played well enough, you know, not to be 2 down. They've got one back. I think that reflects better the first half performance from both sides, but a poor goal for Aberdeen to lose, giving that penalty away over the top of Rubizic. Malloy getting tangled up with the Dundee player, pulling him down. No doubt it was a penalty. I don't even know why they had to check that, but they did, and they took their time. But there you go, the penalty has been taken and Dundee are back in this game.
Yeah, it was Simon Murray who was pulled down by Malloy, so he's gone down. He's taken the penalty himself. 3 minutes of stoppages at the end of the first half. We're into the first of them. Very entertaining game here, it really has been. Both teams having a go, slugging it out, looking for the win. And Dundee's hopes of taking something from this match have increased dramatically with that penalty conversion. It's very unlike the Aberdeen team this season to be opened up like that. There was a misjudgment by Malloy, and that's a dreadful ball across the face of his own box by Rubizic, and he's fortunate Murray's not got the touch. Malloy picks up and smacks it long forward, looking for Nisbet. Robertson wins the header. Here's the impressive Cameron for Dundee. Pops it forward. Silla will give chase. Mitov comes to the edge of his box though, and he plays it short out to the far side. We played one of the 3 minutes that were added at the end of the first half. Long ball forward is cleared by Robertson, and then picked up by Ingram on this near side. Long high ball forward down the Dundee right, bounces awkward for Malloy. Murray bullying him there, and Malloy puts it out for a Dundee throw-in. He's such an awkward character to deal with, Simon Murray. The two redheads there, Murray and Malloy, battle royale, and Murray coming off the better with that penalty decision. And Malloy will be relieved he's not been ordered off there as Mackenzie slides in on Ingram, but Ingram picks it up and rolls it back to Portales. Down the right for Ingram again. Aberdeen now just trying to get in at half-time with their lead intact, and it's a more slender one than it had been. Robertson out to Kumiteo on that left-hand side. Down the line for Larkesh. Larkesh forward. Rubizic with the challenge on Cameron. And eventually it's gone out of play over on the far side. There was an offside in any case. So Dundee 1, Aberdeen 2. Looks as though it's going to be the half-time scoreline. Motherwell have restored, gone in front for the first time. Lennon Miller again on the stroke of half-time, having been behind to Killian Phillips' goal. Motherwell 2, St Mirren 1 in the Premiership. And most of the other scorelines, so they've been unchanged since the last update, although there's been a couple of goals in League 2. Edinburgh City 1-0 up at Elgin, Peterhead 1-0 up against Clyde. Stranraer have gone behind against Stirling Albion at Steer Park. All those games are at half-time. The half-time whistle's beginning to go across the country as Kumiteo heads away, helped on its way by Braybrook, and then Rubizic spins back towards his own goal, and Tiffany all over him. Almost got the break there, Scott Tiffany, but it comes to Mackenzie on the near side, and he was back to Malloy for Aberdeen on this near side. Long ball forward, Nisbet chests it back the way. The referee blows for half-time, and Aberdeen happy to get up the tunnel with a lead here. Dundee will feel they should be at least level in the game. Aberdeen leading through goals from Nisbet and Keskinen, and looked like they were going to run away with it at that point, but Dundee with a late first half penalty converted by Simon Murray after he was brought down by Gavin Malloy, who received a yellow card for his troubles. And Dundee will know that they're very much in this game thanks to that penalty, which has left the half-time scoreline here at Dens. Dundee 1, Aberdeen 2.
Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland.
of a voice. I think back to that first week, Tom, we just launched it. You're not sure what you're going to get. And we got some great reaction, actually, some Aberdeen fans. One had a wee pop at us on that. We had people on their way home from the game. That was good in week one. We did it last week. And we had some great Hearts fans on. You remember the chat, what, with 20 minutes before full time, and he knew what was going to happen. He just knew it.
That one was really powerful because he just left the ground and 15 minutes to go or 20 minutes to go, whatever it was, and they were losing. Was it 2-0 they were losing?
2-1 was it?
2-1 was it? And he says, I know we're not getting back into this. I'm on my way home. And I thought that was quite powerful, you know. Yeah. And sure enough, he was right.
So
Hearts lost the game.
08085 92 95
what a
00.
save.
Yes, Derek. Oh.
What a save that was. It's Phillips. He's nearly getting his second of the day. And I tell you what, Oxford, what a save that is. Down to his right-hand side. I mean, he's only, 4 yards out? I tell you, brilliant reactions. But, you know, St Mirren getting the ball into the box, causing a little bit of havoc. And I tell you, you just, I don't know, could you get a little bit more power? I'm not so sure. But I tell you what, take nothing away from Aston Oxford goals. That was a tremendous save.
Oxborough does really well, Derek, because there's a player lurking at the back post as well, ready for the tap in when he makes a save, but he actually puts it in between the two attackers and manages to actually steer the ball clear of goal. He does really well, the Motherwell goalkeeper.
So that number for your voice notes, 08085 92 95 00. Hearts booed off there at half-time at Tynecastle, trailing to Ross County. Let's hear from Hearts fans this evening. Aberdeen fans, 4,000 off them. We're seeing the pictures coming in here again, celebrating behind the goal there, although Dundee are back in the game. Kilmarnock really struggling this season. They're behind the home to Dundee United. Let's hear from Kilmarnock fans. And Motherwell going very nicely now under Stuart Kettlewell, top half of the table, a League Cup semi-final to look forward to. Motherwell fans, what can you dream of this season? 08085 92 95 00. We'll get some of these played out later in the programme. And what a challenge faces St Johnstone this evening, Tom. How on earth to take something off Celtic? A slight boost, you'd say, with Cameron Carter-Vickers out for Celtic tonight. There's just so much quality and a side brimming with confidence.
Yeah, well, you asked me how did they take something. I haven't a clue.
No. I mean, how do you make I wonder how you make your players believe that you can. You know, I mean, how does a manager make the players believe?
Well, I think the best thing they can hope for is just to be incredibly disciplined in defence, concentration levels through the roof, and hope for a draw, a battling draw. But I mean, Celtic, you know, teams have done that to Celtic a lot, and they find a way. Sometimes they do it quickly, sometimes they take a while to get through, but they always get through. It's I don't know. I mean,
it comes down to your game plan, doesn't it? Yeah. If you can sell it to the players and you're thorough enough throughout the week in terms of your analysis and, as I say, what the game plan looks like, how it feels on the pitch, that there's real clarity around your roles and responsibilities. I think every footballer goes into a game and every manager with a belief that you can get something from it regardless of who you're up against. I think they're clearly respect Celtic in the run of form, especially that they're on. If they can take a goal from them today, it's more than any other side in the Premiership's managed to do this season. If you can go and take points from the game, then that would be exceptional under the circumstances. But it's going to be a tough evening, afternoon/evening for St Johnstone.
Half-time, guys. Motherwell 2, St Mirren 1.
Good stuff. It's been a really busy first half on Open All Mics. All the half-time reports to come, and I'll give you all the latest scores from across the country. Stay tuned to BBC Radio Scotland.
Chance score!
Open All Mics on FM and BBC Sounds.
Live on Sports Sound from BBC Radio Scotland.
You're listening to Sports and on BBC Radio Scotland. Billy Dodds is on Open All Mics duty for us at Dens Park this afternoon. There's also the option of commentary that comes this afternoon from Willie Miller and Liam McLeod.
Yeah, that's a really good game. I'm sure Dodds doing it justice as well on the other frequency here in the sunshine in Dundee. Aberdeen with a 2-1 lead, and they went roaring into a 2-0 lead. Kevin Nisbet on 15 minutes after Topi Keskinen drove in down the right-hand side, laid it back to Nisbet, who fired home side foot, calm finish. Similar to the goal they scored in Dingwall, albeit into the other reverse right corner this time, as he popped it past McCracken, and 16 minutes later they made it 2. Keskinen again in behind. Kumiteo misjudged his header badly though, went in behind. Keskinen drove forward, and Nisbet again is an option, but he decided to smash it for goal himself. It took a touch off McCracken on its way into the net to give Aberdeen a 2-0 lead. Looked as though Aberdeen might run away with it at that point, but Dundee would have felt hard done by being 2-0 down at that point. They played really well. It's been a really even game. And the fact they managed to get that goal scored by Simon Murray from the penalty spot on the stroke of half-time has given them a real chance of taking something from this match after a couple of defeats in recent times. Murray was brought down himself by Gavin Malloy. He received just a yellow card. And, yeah, I mean, Tony Docherty being there saying to his players, Willie Miller, that he shouldn't be behind in this game. This game's even, and it's there for us in the second half.
Well, probably more of the same we'll be looking for, with perhaps mentioned for his defenders to actually defend when they're supposed to be defending, and keep it nice and simple, because the Aberdeen goals came from a couple of defensive errors. Well taken, both of them, and Keskinen at the heart of both as well. And showing a lot of intelligence when he got down the right hand side for the first one, just to look up, just to make sure that he was picking out Nisbet, who came from a rather deeper position. But you know when it's cut back to him there that he's got the quality and the calmness just to stroke into the back of the net with a bit of power. The second one, I think John McCracken should have done better. Keskinen again down the right hand side. They had the option of putting Nisbet in, but he decided to go on his own. Right decision at the end of the day. Struck it low, and McCracken goes down. He goes down with his legs spread. It comes off his shin and rifles into the top corner. But you're right, Dundee played well. They've never been out the game. You know, it's been full of energy. They've responded well to both setbacks, and they get the one back just before half time. A great time to get it. And I would have to say that both centre backs were at fault for this one. Rubezic over the top of his head. It's just a big long ball over the top. He hasn't deepened himself enough, and Malloy goes back and then kind of tangles with Murray. I didn't see it being a genuine attempt to play the ball. I thought that Malloy actually took Murray out because Murray was in front of him. The opportunity was there for Murray to score, and I felt that Malloy just stuck his boot in and took him without making any contact with the ball at all. Just a yellow card though for Malloy. This season they've defended well, but in that occasion it was very poor defending. But a very good game of football, must say. Very good game, great conditions here. Looking forward to the second half.
In Aberdeen looking, of course, to make it 12 successive wins at the start of the Jimmy Telleen era. That would equal Martin O'Neill when he became Celtic manager. And for those who don't think Aberdeen have been tested this season so far, they have been tested today. Yet they lead at the break by 2-1.
Yes, thank you to Liam and to Willie. There's the option of commentary or open mics from Dens Park. Let's get to Tynecastle. A really interesting game there. Hearts against Ross County. Let's hear from John Robertson.
A great game here, right from the start. Both teams went straight at it. Alan Forrest got through. The ball was picked to the back post. It looked like it was going out. Laura Shanklin somehow managed to haul it back off of the byline, and there was Forrest. It looked like an empty net, tapped it in. Lapata appeared from nowhere, and along with Ross Laidlaw they managed to get it off the line. Ross County went straight down the park, and after 5 minutes Chilvers took a corner. It was whipped in, it bounced about the box, it come back to Chilvers, who had wandered in, and he struck a shot about 2 feet or so over the bar. Hearts went straight up the park. Devlin cut inside, smashed a low shot, well saved by Laidlaw, and then it was Forrest this time got in behind, cut inside, left foot shot again. Laidlaw tipped it round the post. 32 minutes, Devlin got in, put a nice little 1-2 with Shanklin, struck it straight at the goalkeeper, and then from nowhere came one of the goals of the season contenders. Ross County broke away. Hale started with a lovely flick round the corner. White drove forward. They got the ball. The ball was played into the box. A brilliant interception from Benny Bedingame. Slid in to stop Jordan White getting on the end of it. The ball rolled back out towards the outside of the box where Ronan Hale came onto it, and he flashed it from 20 yards right into the top corner of Craig Gordon's left-hand side, giving the keeper absolutely no chance and putting a resolute County side into the lead. And then you thought Hearts that the chance had come at long last, and to the right man. Kingsley went down the left wing, he cut it back, he put in a beautiful cross to the back, just beyond the far defender, Lawrence Shanklin, 7 yards out, right on his forehead. He bulleted it past Laidlaw, but unfortunately for Lawrence and for the Hearts fans, it went inches past the post. That read a chorus of boos at half-time, which is a wee bit harsh given the amount of superiority the Hearts have had. But that's the times at Tynecastle. At half-time, it's Hearts 0, Ross County 1.
Thank you to John Robertson. Next stop is Rugby Park. Kilmarnock at home to Dundee United. Let's hear from Rory Loy.
Yes, indeed. A good game. Dundee United lead here at Rugby Park by 1-0. However, it was Kilmarnock who started the better in the first 5 minutes. A quick free kick by Armstrong was played down the side to Watkins, who cut back and Kyle Vassell had a shot, however it did ricochet out for a corner kick. Then loads of space opened up a few minutes later for Babunski, who popped a 1-2 with Moult and got a shot away. He should have done better, but he screwed his shot wide. It was a good chance. And then Stevenson was played one-on-one on the angle with O'Hara. He spread himself well, the goalkeeper, and made a right good save. However, the next time this happened, Stevenson decided to cut the ball back to Louis Moult, who had the simple task of tapping the ball home for 1-0 Dundee United. Babunski dragged another shot a few minutes later wide from a Moult flick on, and on 33 minutes, Kilmarnock's biggest chance of the half, Kennedy's cross, was met by a in-rushing Danny Armstrong, but his header was just over the bar. They have had a few chances, Kilmarnock, but defensively they've been really, really poor. They've moved Corey and Daba into midfield and went to a 3 at the back. However, it's not really worked for them. Babunski's picked up some good positions. Lucas Stevenson's caught the eye. Moult with a predator finish, and Sibbald has been an absolute standout. Kilmarnock have work to do, Kenny. It's Kilmarnock 0, Dundee United 1.
Thank you to Rory Loy. Let's then get to Fir Park. A really good game there. Motherwell at home to St Mirren. Let's get the half-time report from Derek Ferguson.
Will do, Kenny. It's Jane Lewis. She's creating havoc here at Fir Park, I've got to say. It's Motherwell at the moment. It's Motherwell 2, St Mirren 1. A scrappy start, Kenny, to the start of the game, the visitors, but they took the lead in 9 minutes. It was Bomono with a cross. He's finding Kevin Phillips just inside the box. His first touch, it was a wonderful first touch. Then the strike on the volley, absolutely superb, keeping it down low and hard to the keeper's right hand side for the away side to take the lead. The home side's reaction, it was good, pushing forward at every moment, and from a resulting corner kick, referee Lloyd Wilson, he awarded a penalty. I think it was for a block. Casey blocked by Fraser, who was a culprit. He got a yellow card for that, and it was young Lennon Miller showing all the composure in the world to slot home from to get the goal in 19 minutes. The Steelmen, well, they were more dominant. They got their just rewards in 44 minutes, and this is a big talking point, Kenny. Halliday finding Lennon Miller in the box 15 yards out. It was an awkward one to control, but when it dropped for the young man, it was only going one place, and that was into the back of the net. Into the last moments of the half, Killian Phillips, he had a great chance, but was denied, but a brilliant save by Oxford in goals. On that controversy, Kenny, I saw a replay now. It comes off his shoulder, then it comes off his forearm as well, and I think that's where the St Mirren players, they were absolutely livid at half time. They were all making their way to the referee. Stevie Robinson, he was on like a shot to pull them back. Yeah, I don't know, you guys can make your mind up. I thought it was just off the shoulder. It looks as if he just maybe ushers it forward with his forearm to get the strike off. But listen, doesn't matter, he's got his second of the day, but it is a big talking point. But at the moment, it's Motherwell 2, St Mirren 1.
Yeah, who'd be a referee? You can watch Sports Team tonight, make your own mind. I've watched it several times and I can't make a final decision on it. So plenty more to come on Open All Mics in the second half. It's been a really entertaining first half across the country. Let's now give you the choice of listening once again. Full commentary from Dens Park. Dundee are playing Aberdeen, tuned to BBC Radio Scotland Digital, 810 medium wave, and BBC Radio Scotland Extra on BBC Sounds. For Open All Mics, you'll find that on 92 to 95 FM and BBC Radio Scotland on BBC Sounds, and both are live online at bbc.co.uk/Sports Scotland.
Football from Sports Sound.
Brilliant drop of the shoulder. What a goal!
From BBC Radio Scotland.
There's no substitute.
Anna, welcome back. I think we are on air now. We're on air. Excellent. Welcome back from Dens Park. Dundee Aberdeen second half is up and coming as we await, hopefully, as entertaining a second period as we had in the first half here. Aberdeen didn't get the better of Dundee at all last season. 3 meetings, Dundee unbeaten. The first game between them actually didn't happen until January, mainly due to Storm Babbitt. Not sure if you remember that, last October. It was the match that cost Barry Robson the Pittodrie manager's job. It ended 1-1 in the Granite City. A first half Miovski penalty cancelled out by a second half Lee Ashcroft header. Dundee won another rearranged game, mainly due to the playing surface here, which I can assure you will not be an issue this season. You wouldn't think so when you look out at it there. It's like a bowling green here at Dens. It was a McCowan penalty, which was enough to separate them on that occasion. And then there was a goalless draw at Pittodrie in April, a point that ensured Dundee would finish in the top 6. The late Motherwell equaliser against Hibs at the same time, securing their place in the top half. But it's not really been a fixture that Dundee have enjoyed too often recently. Just 2 wins in the last 23 meetings, both of them here at Dens Park. They haven't actually recorded a victory at Pittodrie since May 2004. So they'll be hoping to improve on that record. And Willie Miller, at the end of the day, that late penalty from Simon Murray towards the end of the first half's given them a real chance to take something from this game.
It'll give them a lot of hope, particularly the way they played, though, Liam, in the first half. You know, they responded extremely well to going behind on 2 occasions. You know, they're looking at how they've defended, and you know, they've got to be much tighter in the second half. They've got to be much more alert and play as a unit. The 3 at times you know, got themselves well stretched, and Aberdeen took advantage. But you know, apart from that, there wasn't too much in the game for, say, the first 20 minutes or so, and then after 20 minutes I think Dundee have been the better side, and you know, I think they deserve to you know, have went into at half time with 2-1 on the scoreboard instead of 2-0, so they deserve to get it back, and it's a great time to get it, isn't it? Simon Murray penalty, he wins a penalty as well, and strikes it away.
Russell Dingwall has scored early in the second half for Elgin City. They're now back at 1-1 against Edinburgh City in League 2 in that battle there. I will keep you up to date with what's going on across the SPFL this afternoon. Remember, keep an eye out for the first round score lines from the Scottish Cup today as well. Full-time scores of those matches, those ties, at bbc.co.uk/sportscotland once they are done, as those sides battle for a place in round 2. And of course, you'd imagine, as it has been the case in recent years, there will be a good handful of them will make it through to at least the 3rd round, and then potentially a 4th round battle as well, with one of the big guns. I'm still waiting on the 2 sets of players to make their way back out onto the Dens Park pitch here, and talking about Dundee getting renewed belief there, how much does that penalty change Jimmy Tilleen's half-time team talk, Willie?
Well, it's a downer, isn't it? You know, I think they would be reasonably happy, not fully happy with the first half performance. I think Dundee took control of the game, had much more possession than Aberdeen, but Aberdeen have always looked on the counter. They've looked very dangerous, and you know, there's been huge gaps in that Dundee defence that they've taken advantage of on 2 occasions, and he'll be hoping that I think he's the type of manager that likes to play on the counter, you know, likes to get players forward quickly and early and take advantage of, you know, any team that are disorganised at the back. So, you know, he'll be disappointed to lose a goal, absolutely, but he won't be disheartened with the first half performance. Still think it was a good performance. But when you go, you know, 2-0 up, the next goal is so important. If you get it, then, you know, really you should be looking at it as 3 points, and there shouldn't be any danger. But when the opposition get it, particularly just before half-time, then the questions begin to swirl round about the mind, doesn't it? And players perhaps getting a little bit more edgy, and the manager perhaps in the same mood as well.
Well, the defeat to Ross County last time out in the league, Dundee, was their first in the Premiership this season, but actually overall, going back into last term, they've only won 1 of their last 13 Premiership games, which is quite a stark statistic, because when you think of Dundee, you think they're doing fine, they're ticking along okay. But when you slice it up and you look at that, and okay, they're obviously not all defeats, but you know, just that 1 win in 13 league games. Anyway, the Aberdeen players just back out. Dundee been out for about a minute or so. I'm not sure of why it's been such a lengthy delay to the start of the second half. It's 4:10. 3 minutes were added on at the end of the first half, so you bolt that on to the 3 minutes that they lost during the match. It's 6 minutes, so a good 5 minutes behind schedule here, I think, for some reason. I don't know what's been going on. The Aberdeen players going through a little mini warm-up down below us, the little cones. And Dundee players just about ready to go as well as they knock the ball around. What will we see in the second half? Tony Docherty, Jimmy Tilleen just making their way up the touchline in front of us. And what's a big 45 minutes for both. Dundee looking to get back on the rails. Aberdeen just looking to continue this incredible winning run that could yet stretch to 12 today. They're well positioned to do so. But this is going to be a big test for them. So I think Dundee are going to have to make a change at the start of the second half. Understand this is going to be a concussion sub, which will mean that both managers will now be able to make 6 changes as it stands. Just about to find out who is having to go off. See, the Dundee defence looks as though it's the same there. Wait and see who is being brought on as well. And it looks as though the man, it's Josh Mulligan who's coming on, and
Mo Silla.
I think it's Silla, yeah, it's Silla's gone off. So it's a concussion sub for Dundee. And Dundee Academy graduate Josh Mulligan comes on to replace him at the start of the second half. And Silla does a good job, doesn't he? Gets up and down the park. He's the kind of midfielder you want in the team. Puts in the work. And he's off. Mulligan is on, and Aberdeen will kick off the second half in just a moment, going from left to right. Dundee are going to attack the Shankly end, where the Aberdeen supporters are bustled in behind, and the game is back underway. And it's Devlin out to Rubezic, who goes long when it's straight to Braybrook, who will pick up in the midfield. Dundee looking to finish, or start the second half as they finish the first, and it's the ball infield by Tiffany, straight to Rubezic though. Clarkson goes down, no foul. Collected in the midfield and fired out to that right-hand side for Dundee through Portales. Picked up by Mulligan, level with the edge of the D of the Aberdeen box. It's good play down the right-hand side there by Ingram, and he's won the corner as well. Swings his cross off Clarkson. Positive start to the second half by Tony Docherty's side.
Yeah, you know, they've been positive the whole game though, but you know, I would suggest that Tony Dock would have been into their heads there, you know, getting that late goal to get them back into this game. That at the beginning of the first half, let's get Aberdeen tested.
Kilmarnock have equalised early in the second half. David Watson 1-1 against Dundee United. In comes the corner, it's drifted towards the penalty spot. Clark Robertson with a header, and it's forced Meathoff to tip it over the bar. He wasn't sure if that was just dropping underneath it there. So Dundee have a quick fire second corner here at the start of the second half.
Yeah, I think he you know, he doesn't take any chances, Meathoff, on that occasion. Just makes sure that it's put over the bar.
Out on the right hand side, cross comes in, it's deep from the corner. It was played short and it's gone over everyone and behind for an Aberdeen goal kick. Lee Kilday's Hamilton Accies 1-0 up on Partick Thistle in the Championship. It's been a hit or miss season for Partick Thistle so far, and if Accies win that, they will leapfrog the Jags in the Championship, as Devlin picks up for Aberdeen on the near side. So the Dons with a bit of defending to do early in the second half. There is Keskinen, turns away from his man and now drives down this right hand side. He's got pace to bar and he's getting away towards the edge of the penalty area now. And he's just done enough there, has Kumiteo, to put him off, and Keskinen rolls it out to Devlin on this near side, infield to Shinnie, back to Devlin, low ball across, clear by Kumiteo out on this near side. Tiffany's going to try and keep it in play, and he has done. Tiffany driving forward up against Rubezic, steps infield, away from the Montenegro international. He slips the low ball forward towards Mulligan. Nielsen's there to mop up, goes back to his keeper, and it's a long ball into the centre circle. Robertson with the challenge on Nisbet. The Aberdeen fans didn't like that one. Jamie McGrath picks up on the left. I have to say, Jamie McGrath's been pretty quiet this afternoon. Not like him, but here he is driving forward. Rolls it out to the overlapping McKenzie. Level with the Dundee 18-yard line. Portales comes to meet him, rolls it to the edge of the box for Keskinen. Keskinen gets into the area, but slight challenge is a really good one there from Braybrook to snuff out the danger, and Dundee clear their lines. Off the head of Malloy, picked up on the right by Murray. Murray looking for Tiffany. Rubezic gets a touch onto it. It's picked up by Malloy over there. And he knocks it forward to Nielsen. Now with Nisbet. Nisbet shows too much of it though to Larkesh, but the break of the ball favours Keskinen. He's in a central area in the Dundee half. Rolls it to the left hand side when it will be picked up by McGrath. Infield to Nielsen. In behind Shinnie, he's found Devlin. And Devlin infield to Shinnie again. Shinnie for Nielsen. Aberdeen trying to get some control of this game because Nobody's really been in control of it at any point, even when Aberdeen were 2-0 up, as Mackenzie knocks it back to Nielsen. You have to say the Dundee reaction to losing the goals was excellent, first class, and that's why they've managed to stay in the game just now, because the heads could easily have dropped, Willie, after that second one.
Easily. You know, when you go 2-0 down at home, you know that it's going to be a huge task, and you have to respond accordingly. And there's two ways to respond, isn't it? You know, you let your head go down, the body language isn't correct, and the energy isn't there. But that hasn't happened to Dundee. They've kept the energy levels up. They have kept the belief up as well, and you know, they've got that goal back just before half-time. Great time to get it as well. So, you know, they're now looking to get the equaliser, and Aberdeen obviously looking to get another one, and both teams are having a go.
Yeah, Mackenzie on the left crosses into the Dundee box, and then Clark Robertson doing some defending, but he's lost out to Leighton Clarkson, who's spinning on the left-hand side of the box, but he loses it, and Dundee come away with Cameron. Long ball forward will come all the way through to Dimitar Mitov, and it remains Dundee 1, Aberdeen 2 here. Still relatively early in the second half, and a bit behind everyone else, just about to hit the 50-minute mark. And it is with Mitov, plays it short to Malloy, back to the Aberdeen keeper, who clears with the left foot onto the halfway line. Portales beats McGrath in the jump. Braybrook gives it away though, and it's with Clarkson. Long ball forward, looking for Nisbet, holding off Robertson with his back to goal. Midway inside the Dundee half, rolls it to Shinnie. Shinnie then finds Keskinen, right hand side of the D. Low ball back by Nisbet's poor, he's given it away, and Dundee come away with Mulligan. Keskinen trying to retrieve the situation, he slides in on his man. Dundee, the referee tried to play the advantage, there was none, and Keskinen's going to be yellow carded as well. Dundee have a free kick just inside their own half. They trail Aberdeen by 2-1.
That's probably right, that I would say. Keskinen can back the way, Josh Mulligan having control of the ball, and it's a tackle from behind as well. And you know, the likelihood is, I think he got a little bit on the ball, but you know, when you tackle from that sort of a position, you're going to take the player first, and the referee decides it was a deliberate attempt just to stop play, and the yellow card was shown, and I don't think I could disagree.
And he joins Malloy in the book. Dundee have it on the right. Ingram down the touchline. Mulligan gives chase. Faced by Nielsen. Mulligan still has it. Cuts back and then sweeps the ball high into the area, and it's headed over the bar by Tiffany. A round of applause from his skipper Simon Murray there for Josh Mulligan. Really good positive play down the right hand side of the Aberdeen box. In the end, Tiffany's header is well over, and it stays Dundee 1, Aberdeen 2 on 53.
He just didn't look confident, did he, Tiffany, on that occasion? You know, Mulligan, good cross into the box, perhaps. You know, you needed one with a lot bit more prowess in the air. You know, but in that occasion, Tiffany just did not look as though he was confident that he was going to hit the target.
McGrath for Aberdeen, coming forward, rolling it to the right of centre area, midway inside the Dundee half for Shinnie. Shinnie fires it with the left foot out to Mackenzie at the left angle of the Dundee box. Low ball for McGrath, back to Mackenzie on the left hand side. It's a dink ball. Nisbet's header is over, and it will stay Dundee 1, Aberdeen 2. He goes well there, Kevin Nisbet, and McCracken, he wasn't sure if that was sneaking in the top left corner there, and it will be a goal kick. Just wonder, Kevin Nisbet, he got his first Pittodrie goal last week, scored the winner at Ross County late on. He scored this afternoon. Just wondered if he's knocking on Steve Clarke's door with that Scotland squad to be announced later in the week.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
Bit soon, maybe?
Sorry?
Bit soon for him with regards to his Aberdeen career, I mean.
I'm kind of looking at him. I think he still needs a bit of time to get his fitness up. There's no doubt the quality that he's got, and I'm sure that Steve Clarke's keeping an eye on him as well, but you know, maybe just a little bit too early for him. But if he continues the way he's going and keeps finding the back of the net, then you know, obviously that's something that Scotland would dearly love.
All while Lawrence Shanklin's woes continue. Hearts, who are trailing Ross County in Edinburgh this afternoon. Here is Devlin for Aberdeen, who lead in Dundee by 2-1. It's Devlin midway inside the Dundee half, rolls it back to Shinnie. He in turn goes back to Rubicic. Good period in just the last few minutes, with the exception of the Tiffany header. Aberdeen have been looking to try and just get a feel of the ball, and as long as they've got it, Dundee can't hurt them. And it's Malloy out to the left-hand side, touchline for Mackenzie. Infield to Nielsen. It's a long ball which Clarkson's chasing. Braybrook's the covering player. He's all over Leighton Clarkson over on the far side. Clarkson goes down, bounces straight back up. He's been forced away from goal though. He's Done well, eventually rolls it to the edge of the box for Keskinen, defended well by Robertson. Kept in play on the left-hand side, now Mackenzie. And the flag goes up on the near side. Dundee will have a free kick for that offside decision. It's Dundee 1, Aberdeen 2.
Yeah, it's still going, you know, from one penalty box to the other penalty box pretty quickly, isn't it? You know, there's not much play where the pace is low. You know, the energy levels are still high from both sides. I mean, it's a perfect day for a game of football as well. I don't blame Aberdeen just to try and, you know, big Rubbership goes into the back of Simon Murray. The referee did put the whistle up, but I think he's waved play on because of the advantage, but it was rather nasty bump in the back. But Simon Murray's okay. But yeah, I mean, good game of football, thoroughly enjoyable. I think the fans here this afternoon are enjoying it too, full of energy.
Motherwell are down to 10 men. Dan Casey sent off just a couple of minutes into the second half. I missed that earlier. You've got it now. David Watson has put Kilmarnock 2-1 up on Dundee United with his second of the afternoon. Here come Dundee down the right-hand side. The challenge from Mackenzie on Ingram, and out for a Dundee throw-in over there in front of the Derry for Ethan Ingram to take. He came into the starting 11 today with Jordan McGee unavailable. Ingram with the throw into Mulligan. Back to Ingram, level with the 18-yard line of Aberdeen now as he moves towards the box, finds Portales. To Mulligan, level with the Aberdeen penalty spot, into the box he goes, turns away from Mackenzie's ball across is cut out by a combination of Mackenzie and McGrath, and Dundee clear. Dundee of Aberdeen pinned back again here. Ingram's cross headed away by Sivert Nielsen, and then Clarkson turns it back to Mackenzie. He goes back to Mitov, who gets rid of it with Tiffany all over him. Dundee have got so many little buzz bombs in their team, don't they? Some of them not so little in Simon Murray's case. When you see the pressure they put on the Aberdeen players when they're not in possession, Dundee, they're trying to strangle the game, and it's two defensive errors really that are weak defending that see them behind in this game.
Yeah,
as the Dundee goal came from poor Aberdeen defending.
Yeah, I think poor defending all round at times in the game this afternoon. But yeah, I mean, what really hard, extremely hard, they close the opposition down, and you know, it's difficult for Aberdeen to build anything up. And of course, with Kevin Nisbet up front, you don't really have a target man there. You know, he prefers it more to his feet, and you know, we're seeing Mitov there play a long ball in the air, and Nisbet's not going to win these type of balls. So you know, the message from, I'm sure, Jimmy Talleen is to try and get through the midfield. You know, but the way Dundee are playing and the pressure that they're putting on Aberdeen, when Aberdeen try to do that, you know, it's quite intense, and they're struggling to break it down.
Queen's Park are 2-0 up against Dunfermline now. Sean Welsh has got their second, adding to the first half Zach Rudden goal. So Dunfermline 0, Queen's Park 2. The Pars sitting second bottom of the championship as Aberdeen come down the left from Mackenzie. He's going to get there to the byline, pulls it across, cut out by Portales, and it bounces off the corner flag and behind for an Aberdeen corner as they look to restore their 2-goal lead. They lead by 2-1 here at Dens, and they have this corner kick opportunity 3 minutes shy of the hour.
Yeah, it's just another example of the game, you know, flowing very quickly from one end of the pitch to the other, and Aberdeen now getting the opportunity to test the Dundee defence with the corner on the left-hand side,
which will be taken by Leighton Clarkson as they attack the Bobby Cox stand off to our right. This will be bent into a congested 6-yard box by the look of this, unless Clarkson's got something up his sleeve. And he goes, the Aberdeen number 10 goes to the back post where only John McCracken is, and he clutches on with both hands, and he's launched it long forward, and Tiffany's onto it, and the right support arriving. Braybrook wants it. Tiffany dances away from Mackenzie, goes to face a goal. Mitov got a touch on that, and it goes behind for the corner. It stays Dundee 1, Aberdeen 2. Fabulous play by John McCracken and then Scott Tiffany.
It was so quickly taken by the Dundee goalkeeper. One of these volleys, you know, and he spotted Tiffany down the right-hand side. Tiffany onto it, gets it under control. It's a tight angle though, but he strikes. That's going in. I don't think there's any doubt that that's going in. Mitov gets a little touch on it, and it dribbles by the far post.
And there's a chip ball into the box from the short corner, but Mitov holds on, and Aberdeen's lead remains. Queen of the South 2-0 up now on Dumbarton. Alloa through Morgan Neal have pulled one back against Montrose in League One. Remember, Cove Rangers Arbroath kicks off later. Forfar are 1-0 up at Bonnyrigg. Elgin 2, Edinburgh City 1, a Dingwall double there, and it is 1-1 at Balmoor now. A Donaghy penalty cancelling out Ryan Strachan's opener for Peterhead. East Fife are 1-0 up at Spartans through Nathan Austin, and Shula goal has Stirling Albion still 1-0 up at Stranraer. You can get the scorelines at any time at bbc.co.uk/Sports Scotland. So we are in the 60th minute here at Dens Park. Aberdeen leading 2-1, but Dundee so close to an equaliser there. I just wonder if Jimmy Tilleen will be looking at a change shortly to add some freshness to his team. And Devlin slides in and does brilliantly there to get it off Larkesh, but McCracken does just enough, though Devlin thinks he's handled it outside the box. He's got his arms outstretched at the referee Callum Scott, who is not interested.
No, it was inside the box, wasn't it? But it's worth a try. I suppose referee's not changing his mind, but good play from Devlin again, you know, to hunt that one down and get a little break on it and then put the pressure on the Dundee goalkeeper. But McCracken definitely inside the box.
Devlin, McGrath, McKenzie, all players that Aberdeen are trying to get on extended deals, contracts expiring at the end of the season. How many of those three will stay? Will they all stay? Dundee have it. Kumateo, he's in the Aberdeen half, to the halfway point of it for Tiffany. It's a good game, Tiffany. And it's worked out to the right for Ingram. Gets it from Portales. Ingram's cross is woeful though, and he's ballooned it high over the bar. And he's getting a round of applause from Simon Money. It's more to G him up, I think, after that.
Oh dear, I know what I would be saying to him. It would be a round of applause, that's for sure. That was just a dreadful effort of a cross, wasn't it, from Ingram? And he's under no pressure whatsoever. Yeah, no, dreadful.
3-1 Kilmarnock against Dundee United. Marley Watkins has scored at Killie 3. Dundee United 1. Kilmarnock, remember, winless coming into this weekend in the Premiership. But they're in a good place to change that particular statistic. Hearts still trailing 1-0 at home to Ross County. Motherwell down to 10, but 2-1 up on St Mirren, who've gone down to 10 as well. Scott Tanser's been ordered off. St Johnstone Celtic to come. Jay Henderson in the Championship as the leaders. Ayr United 1-0 up on Morton. Murray chases a ball played back to Mitov, who shanks it panically into the Derry on the far side. Dundee supporters sense an equaliser is in the offing here. And against high-flying Aberdeen, it's 2-1 to the Dons, but Dundee pressing, and Mulligan out to Ingram. Infield to Cameron. Back out to Ingram, then to Cameron again. Gets the cross in, flicked away by Devlin. He had to get there because Larkesh was waiting in behind him with a clean header on goal. It's Kumateo. Sweeps it to the feet of Portales. Out to the right-hand side for Ingram. There appears to be movement amongst the Aberdeen substitutes here. Palaversa and Sockler, I think, are going to be on shortly. It's Dundee in possession with Cameron over on the far side. Rolls it to Ingram on the touchline. Dundee trying to hunt down an equaliser, and from 2 behind, that would be quite the feat against this in-form Aberdeen team. Here's Cameron. It's a lovely ball by Cameron as well, although McKenzie gets there ahead of Ingram and puts it out for a Dundee throw-in level with the Aberdeen penalty spot. Just feel Aberdeen need to change something.
It's a struggle for them. They've no outlet. I think Nisbet could come off and maybe Sockler on as an outlet so that they can just play, perhaps, or have the option to play the ball over the top. They need some kind of a option up top. They haven't had it, and I'm not too sure about Clarkson as well. He's fallen out the game too. It's interesting to see where Jimmy Tilleen goes with this one.
Aberdeen with the lead, Dundee with all the pressure though, and it's Murray. He's got the cross in as well towards Larkesh, headed away by Devlin. Cameron can't control, and I think he might well have no free kick. Looked like he might have fouled Clarkson there. Dundee play on. A crowd of 9,030 inside Dens Park this afternoon, witnessing this one. The Dundee fans hopeful that they can turn their current dominance into an equaliser. The ball's pinged out to the far side for Ingram. Ingram's onto it. McGrath comes across and plays it off Ingram, and out for a throw-in over on the far side to the visitors. I mean, I could see it from here, so I don't know why there are Dundee players complaining about the decision to award Aberdeen the throw-in over there. But those changes are coming for the Dons. Sockler, Palaversa will be on shortly. just needed to freshen things up. 63.5 on the clock. Still 2-1 to Aberdeen. The ball forward by Clark Robertson. Underneath it is McKenzie for Aberdeen, though. He gets it away. And as far as Braybrooke, who controls in the chest. And now it's with Cameron. Back into the centre circle for Kumateo. Aberdeen can't keep the ball right now.
No, they can't. You know, whenever they do get a little bit of possession, there's swarms round about them. And, you know, Dundee win the ball back very quickly.
Dundee have it wide in the right with Murray. Never seems to run out of energy, Simon Murray. Back with Robertson. Low ball forward to Cameron. Back to Robertson again, and then out to that right-hand side it goes for Portales. Coming forward, finding Ingram on the touchline. Infield to Cameron. Little change of pace. He's got the better of Clarkson on the right. Gets the cross in, really deep. Devlin is enough again to flick it away from Larkesh. Still in play. Mulligan on this near side. Mulligan lays it back to Tiffany. Good play from Tiffany. It's another lovely chip ball. Comes off the head of Rubitic. Bounces around this near side of the box. Still Dundee have it with Mulligan. Nielsen battling for it. Sliding in. It might well have come off his hand, but it was a supporting arm. It was a supporting arm by the look of it from here. The Dundee supporters are claiming that's a penalty as they prepared Aberdeen to make these changes. Well, he was clearly, I think, he had the arm on the ground there supporting his body.
Yeah, it's no penalty. He goes in for the challenge. His hands on the ground. It does, you know, brush his arm, and they make the right decision. And it looks like Jamie McGrath. You said earlier that he hasn't really taken part in the game. He has been very quiet this afternoon, hasn't he, Liam? So probably not surprised that that's a change. Mind you, the second half, the midfield have been really quiet. I'm surprised Nisbet's still on as well. I think you know, Sockler would give you more option up top when you're basically being pushed back the way Aberdeen have been pushed back. You need some kind of an option. I don't think that Nisbet is good enough. Great if you've got possession of the ball, but not so good when you're you know, under pressure and you can't get yourself out.
Yeah, that's going to be coming shortly. Shinnie claims he's won a throw-in on the near side. It's gone out for a Dundee ball, though. Shinnie having a little bark at referee Scott. Throw in Dundee. Larkesh for Tiffany. Tiffany gets it back the way there to Kumateo, who rolls it to the left of the centre circle for Robertson. It is complete dominance from Dundee right now. These last 10 minutes. Aberdeen still with the 2-1 lead as they come down that right-hand side to the home side. It's down to Ingram. Sockler will be on shortly. Aberdeen bringing Palaversa on for McGrath. Clarkson shifted out in a kind of wide left position to accommodate that. Murray down the right gets the cross ball in. It comes off Palaversa, and there's no way it's a deliberate pass back. He gets it back to Mitov. He just kind of stuck the leg out there, and it's worked out very well for him because it's back in the gloves of his goalkeeper. Dundee 1, Aberdeen 2.
Big for Aberdeen now, you know, totally dominated by the opposition. Dundee, you know, keeping possession, keep knocking at the door as well. They haven't managed to break it down yet, but Aberdeen totally ineffective, you know, in terms of building anything up at all, keeping possession. You know, very few options up top as well, and I think Jimmy Tillene has got to think very deeply about what his next move is going to be.
Yeah, because this is a Dundee team that knows how to score goals, and Tiffany's been brought crashing to the ground here by Palaversa. It's a Dundee free kick, almost at the midway point in the Aberdeen half. Braybrooke took it quickly, the ref wasn't ready though. So in the Premiership here, Dundee 1, Aberdeen 2, Hearts 0, Ross County 1, Kilmarnock 3, Dundee United 1, 10-man Motherwell 2, 10-man St Mirren 1. St Johnstone Celtic kicks off in 70 minutes time, and that's live here on Sportsound. Free kick Dundee, Braybrooke is over it. Despite the time on the clock, still loads of time left in the game. We're into the final quarter of it. The free kick comes into the Aberdeen box, left-hand side, Rubizic with a header half away. Clarkson gets there and slices it away from Larkesh. Out it goes for a Dundee throw-in. Over on the far side, level with the Aberdeen 18, though they've taken it a few yards further back. Quickly, Cameron. Dundee have it, although given away pretty cheaply, we'd have to say, and Aberdeen are hitting the counter, and it's 2-on-2. Nisbet and Keskinen. Nisbet driving forward, looking to roll it through to Keskinen. It's just got away from him, but he's still onto it. Shinnie and Nisbet wait at the back post area. It's Keskinen onto the left, gets it across, cut out by Portales. It's the first time Aberdeen have been up the pitch in ages.
It's relief for them, isn't it, really? And Nisbet, it wasn't a great pass to Keskinen. If he'd have taken a little bit off it and put it into the path of Keskinen, he might have been in with an opportunity himself. It was rather wide, and eventually Keskinen has to try a cross into the box. But they've still got possession. They're still, and they haven't had that for a number of minutes in this second half. They've been pretty much dominated, but they've got a little bit of possession. They're enjoying it just now. They've slowed the pace down as Devlin's on it.
Yeah, Devlin crosses into the Dundee box from the right angle. It's headed away by Portales. Murray takes it down. It's brilliant play from Simon Murray. He is the embodiment of a player that's got better with age.
Yeah, and he's full of everything, full of spirit, isn't he? Energy, very willing to run, both when his team's got the ball, when they haven't got the ball as well. A great teammate, I would suggest. I think it would be a joy to play with him.
Yeah, dream move for him. Back to his favourite club. The second spell, on loan last time, but he's here. He's got the armband today. Aberdeen have a free kick meantime over on that far side. The Championship, Ayr 1, Morton 0, Dunfermline 0, Queen's Park 2, Hamilton 1, Partick Thistle 0, Livingston 1, Airdrieonians 1, Raith Rovers 1, Falkirk 0. Airdrie, it's been a miserable season. Bottom of the table at the moment as Aberdeen come forward. It's Devlin to Nisbet. Nisbet looks up, flicks it to Devlin to his right. Devlin with a heavy touch though. It's allowed Kumiteo back in for Dundee, though Keskinen's back onto it. Wins it back well. Leaves it for Nielsen, who finds Palaversa. Rolls it forward to Devlin. Out wide right for Shinnie. Level the edge of the D of the Dundee box. Shinnie on his left foot here. Plays it with his right though, short to Palaversa. Back out to Devlin on this near side. Infield to Shinnie, to Devlin. And back to Palaversa. Have Aberdeen weathered the storm? It has been excellent from Dundee, and Nielsen's been caught there by Braybrook, and Dundee have it back. It is Tiffany driving forward, rolling it left. Here's Murray taking on Rubizic, comes off. Rubizic last, he can't prevent the corner. Dundee have a corner from nowhere really. Nielsen looked like he was in easy possession there. He was ransacked, and Dundee have got themselves a corner on this near side.
Yeah, it was pretty tight. I didn't really think that the pass was on for Nielsen, because it was a tight area he was in. He did lose possession, and then you've then got Dundee, as they do, going forward in numbers very, very quickly, and Rubizic had to get himself out there to block the advance.
Corner Dundee. Braybrook will take on this near side in swinger with the right boot. Another really deep, it's another woeful corner. It really is. Yeah. How many of them have there been for Dundee? It's gone out for a throw-in on the reverse side.
Dear. I mean, I've said it all along. Just play it into the middle of the goal. Yeah. I mean, if you're accurate and you've got confidence that you can pick out a man, then fair enough. But that's not been the case. Braybrook, on a number of occasions, have just put wayward, overhit them. It's mostly overhit balls to the back post. I don't know what he's trying to achieve.
Aberdeen have it. Palaversa stabbing it to Devlin. It's an early ball looking for Keskinen, who's going to drive forward. It wasn't the best ball by Devlin, but Keskinen gets onto it on the near side. No flag. Forced back the way at the moment though by Larkesh. Infield it comes to Shinnie. Shinnie then looking to knock it out to Leighton Clarkson in space, left hand side of the box. A great ball. Couldn't quite find Nisbet as he pulled it back. The Aberdeen number 10, and John McCracken's onto it, and he drives it forward, and Tiffany's onto it now as well. Tiffany then, lovely play by Tiffany, turns it out to Cameron on the left hand side, attacking the Aberdeen box. It's Cameron, little change of pace there. Devlin's challenge goes behind for another corner. In fact, no goal kick's been given. I thought that had come off. Devlin last, he did well, had to be strong against Lyle Cameron there. Scott Tiffany's been magnificent for Dundee today, and I wouldn't be surprised, even if they lose this game. Tony Docherty says this is one of their best performances of the season, certainly in the league.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been good because of they've had to deal with a 2-0 deficit, going behind in two occasions in the first half, and still showing the spirit and the organisation and the energy to take that in the chin and getting themselves back into the game, and total domination in the second half. They've dominated Aberdeen. Good defending there from Nicky Devlin, I have to say. intelligent defending, that certainly was that. But Dundee and Tony Dock will be happy, but they're still behind. You know, that's plain truth. That's the fact of this game.
Dunfermline are still behind, but they've pulled one back through Josh Cooper against Queen's Park at East End, still though they trail 2-1. In the Championship, Kelty Hearts are 3-0 up now on Annan. And Durnan sent off for Dumbarton. They're 2-0 down to Queen of the South. So getting to the closing stages of a lot of the matches, we are still a bit behind the curve in that regard. And 73 played here. Dundee 1, Aberdeen 2. It's Larkesh wide on the left, gets the cross ball in, flicked away by McKenzie, picked up by Clarkson, finds Nisbet, still inside his own half, tries to knock it forward to Clarkson, cut out by Braybrook, another who's impressed today. Devlin on the near side, long ball forward for Shinnie, lovely touch by Graham Shinnie, gets away from Clark Robertson, right hand side of the box, plays it across, comes off Portales, brilliant defending, really good block there because Leighton Clarkson's there in behind him, and he did really well to not turn it towards his own goal as well.
He did. You know, it was kind of a desperate defending from Portales, but it's magnificent skill from Graham Shinnie, was it not, to take that ball down and actually find a pocket of space. I think he was just out of puff, actually. He might have been able to take that one on, but he tries to pick out Clarkson at the back post, and Portales reads it extremely well, slides in and clears it.
Good play by Keskinen, outside of the boot, ball out wide left, McKenzie, now it's with Clarkson, only Nisbet in the middle. Rolled back to Keskinen, to the edge of the box for Nisbet. Not a great touch by Kevin Nisbet, and Dundee could be away here down on the right-hand side on the counter-attack through Mulligan. They've done this well today. Mulligan for Dundee, he's away from Palaversa, finds Cameron, he's got it out to Tiffany, now they're up at the edge of the box. Tiffany goes for goal, blocked by Devlin, another claim for handball, stabbed back to Dimitar Mitov, and he clears with the left foot. The header forward by Kumiteo. Rubidzic gets his head onto it and finds Clarkson. Of course, Dundee, as the second stick away, are going to have to commit more forward. There's going to be spaces. This could be quite an open final 15 minutes here at Dens plus stoppages. Dundee 1, Aberdeen 2.
I think what Aberdeen have to do is get a hold of the ball though as well, don't they? You know, it's been a really good performance from the home side. That's been full of everything that's good in the game, and Tony Docker, they'll be happy. But from an Aberdeen point of view, then they'll be hoping that they'll see a chink of space. You know, when you see Devlin there playing it up to Nisbet, I just think Nisbet's not looking, you know, as mobile as you're looking for your main striker to be. We know he's a threat, we know the quality, but you've got to have control of the game, I feel, when Nisbet's playing, and Aberdeen certainly don't have control.
Changes coming for both sides by the looks of it. I see Curtis Main getting ready for Dundee, former Aberdeen striker. Dundee down the right is Portales, he gets the cross ball in, flicked away by Devlin on this near side. And it's now with Larkesh. Facing Keskinen, down the left he goes, he's on his left side, checks his run, rolls it back the way to Kumiteo, infield for Cameron, midway inside Aberdeen territory, squares it to Portales, out to that right hand side, Ethan Ingram taking on McKenzie, and the cross comes in, but he sliced it, has he? No, it's come off the defender, give him his dues. It will be a Dundee corner on the far side. Simon Murray's gone down, it will be a triple change for Dundee. Aberdeen are going to bring on Peter Ambrose for their latest change. Remember, they do have an extra substitution available to them because Dundee took Silla off with concussion at half-time. So the changes coming up for Dundee. And one of them will definitely be Curtis Main. I think they're going to bring on Adewumi as well. So Main, Adewumi definitely coming on. That's Scott Fraser who'll be on as well. Another who's a Dundee fan who's come here, having been on loan from Charlton at Hearts last season. He's now at Dundee. He's another Dundee supporter from the city. Began his career across the road at Tannadice. Just wonder, is he waiting until this corner is taken, Tony Docherty, or will they make the changes beforehand? I think they are going to wait. A little bit of confusion as to what's going on here. It's a Dundee corner over on the Dundee right, and Curtis Main has come on, and he has replaced Portales, I think. No, Portales is in the middle there. We'll just get confirmation of the Dundee change shortly. Well, with Larkesh it's come off. Simon Murray, I think he's run his race, so he's going to be coming off. Not sure who'll get the armband. This is what's going on out there.
It's all very confusing, isn't it?
This game's already late enough. We're going to be well past 5 o'clock, I think, by the time this finishes. Aberdeen still with a 2-1 lead. Dundee United, through Craig Sibbald, have pulled one back against Kilmarnock. It's now 3-2 at Rugby Park. Hearts still trailing Ross County 1-0 at home. Just a couple of minutes left of that one. Motherwell still 2-1 up against St Mirren. Both sides down to 10. 2-1 Aberdeen here. It's a precarious lead though, as Dundee make those changes. And they have this corner, which will be taken on the right by Cameron. Into the box it comes, headed away by Rubedzic. Fraser heads it back towards the Aberdeen goal, but Mitov is onto it, and it's a comfortable enough take. Peter Ambrose continues to wait down below us to come on. Mitov's gone down. I think he wants a little bit of treatment here. The Dundee supporters not giving him any sort of sympathy at all. And he's in dialogue with Curtis Main just now as well. He's, I think, asking what's going on, and yeah, the medical team's been summoned. And Mitov's a bit of gamesmanship there, Willie, or what do you think?
Well, it could be, but it looks as though he's got a little problem there. I'm not too sure what it was. He went up, he clutched that ball, he came down maybe heavily. Maybe he's got a little strain in the calf, or on the calf, or maybe even a bit of cramp, or you could be correct, it could be a little bit of gamesmanship. They've certainly been under pressure for most of the second half, Aberdeen. It's not been a good second half for them, but very good for Dundee. That's for sure. They've dominated possession. They haven't created too many opportunities, but they've had plenty of the ball.
They're just trying to see it out right now. They've had a couple of counter-attacks. They've not had real control of the game really at any point. It was a really even first half. But if Dundee don't win this, if they lose this game, Tony Docherty's going to feel really aggrieved, isn't he?
He is, yeah, because he played well. In the first half, even although they go in 2-1 down, it's a late goal for Dundee. It gives them a lift. They come out the second half after fighting back from that 2-0 deficit, showing real good spirit, determination, and everything that's good about the game. And they've come out the second half and they've swamped Aberdeen, totally swamped them. Aberdeen struggled. They've struggled to get any kind of a grip in the game. They've had no outlet up top. Maybe Keskinen, with his running ability, has given him a little bit of respite. Jimmy Tillins went to the bench, made some changes, looking to bring on Ambrose as well. I think they need something up front, just a target or a machine that can run.
They're taking a quick free kick, Dundee there. The ref wasn't ready, but in fairness, Aberdeen wanted to make their substitution, which they're of course entitled to do, as Kevin Nisbet is replaced by Peter Ambrose, who came in from the Hungarian top flight in the summer. He actually, Willie, scored more goals in his final season in Hungary than Bojan Miovski did ahead of his move to Aberdeen. So there's obviously a player there. He's yet to really show it. Scored in the rout of Dumbarton in the League Cup groups, but it's been about it for him so far, and he's coming on to replace Nisbet.
Yeah, he's not had too many opportunities though, has he, really? And he's been used mostly as a substitute in any of the games that I've witnessed. I think he's the type of player that will make runs, and Aberdeen certainly need that.
Rubedzic with a header, it's not decisive, it's still inside the Aberdeen box. They're trying to bundle it away, and they do eventually through Clarkson. It's picked up over there on the right by Ethan Ingram for Dundee. And now Cameron. Can Dundee find an equaliser? Clock ticking down. There's only 6.5 of the 90 left to play here. Sorry, 7.5 of the 90 left to play. They're 2-1 down. Here is Cameron. Right-footed ball, switched out to the left, looking for Tiffany. She's going to bounce away from him though, and he can't prevent it from going behind for the goal kick. Kevin Nisbet gave Aberdeen the lead on 15. Topi Keskinen made it 2 on 32. Simon Murray's late first half penalty though is what has really fuelled this second half performance and domination from Dundee. Had Aberdeen got to half time at 2-0, you might not be seeing this same energetic performance from the home team.
It gives you a huge boost. You've played well in the first half, but you're 2-0 down, and then you get that little chink of hope that probably your play deserves, and you take it, and you're within one of getting the equaliser. And they've come out the second half with that kind of a mentality that They were unlucky in the first half. They're not going to be unlucky in the second.
Jack McKenzie stretching his legs down the left-hand side, attacking the Dundee box. He's away from one, couldn't get away from the second. It's Scott Fraser making his debut, who gets it away, flicks it with the outside of the boot up to Adewumi, but Nielsen slips as he went for it, and Dundee have it back, and it's Adewumi again down the right-hand side, trying to get away from Palaversa. He's got the cross ball in, it's headed away by Malloy. Keskinen gets there, lovely touch from Keskinen. And now Aberdeen are coming away in a counter 4-on-4, although Shinnie's stayed back a bit now. Keskinen flicks it to Ambrose on this near side. Wasn't a great first touch, and Cameron's nicked it off him, but Cameron can't keep it in play. It's going to be an Aberdeen throw-in on the near side. Wasn't a brilliant touch by Peter Ambrose, that one.
It wasn't, but brilliant from Keskinen, and he's done that but maybe about 4 or 5 occasions now where he's picked the ball up and really galloped a good 40 yards to just take the pressure off. You need that, when they're constantly under pressure, which Aberdeen have been in the second half, for just about all of the second half, then you need the ball carriers, you need the Keskinens to get yourself up the park. But you're right, Ambrose should have done, but he's just on the pitch right enough, so he's still trying to find his touch. But in that occasion, as well, it wasn't very good.
Andrew Shinnie looks to have won it for Livingston against Airdries. Dundee come forward, Adewumi throws it back across the box. It's going to be collected by Cameron, who shoots, and Mitov beats it away. The Dundee fans, just listen to them. There's still 5 of the 90 to play. There'll be a good few added on as well. Aberdeen are going to make a triple change shortly, as Dundee still searching for this equaliser. Palaversa's onto it and finds Clarkson, who gets it forward towards Ambrose. Sliding in is Portales, the header from Clark Robertson. It breaks to Graham Shinnie over on that far side. If Aberdeen win this game, they've had to fight for it today. No question this Aberdeen side's been tested.
It has been a big test for them, hasn't it? Really, but they've stood up to it so far.
Here goes Ambrose driving down the left-hand side, sliding into Robertson to get it away, and then it comes bouncing off Clarkson and back to McCracken. Another change for Dundee coming. Julian Vetro is going to be on shortly. Aberdeen are going to bring on Morris and Bizauen. Here come Dundee with Tiffany on this near side. Shows too much of it to Palaversa. Decides rather than passing to Shinnie to take it for a run down the right. He's then tripped by Cameron. Free kick Aberdeen. Tony Docherty doesn't agree with the decision. He's got his head in his hands. He's furious. So is his assistant Stuart Taylor.
Yeah, I would have given it a 9 or a 10 actually for the dive from Palaversa. Listen, he's conned the referee. It's taken the sting out of it a little bit. He didn't have any options, to be perfectly honest. He was running out of grass towards the touchline, and he just folded, and the referee's bought it and given Aberdeen a bit of a breather. But a couple of ball carriers coming on for Aberdeen, that's for sure. Guys that can pick it up and run, get energy. And it's what they need. They need these ball carriers to get them out of the final third and into at least the middle third, and hopefully from an Aberdeen point of view the opposite to final third for them as well. So I can understand the changes. Yeah,
Keskin and Clarkson off, Bizauen and Morris on. Dundee have brought on Vetro for Ingram, and Julian Vetro, who signed for Burnley in the summer, and on the same day after that Bordeaux implosion in France, he joined Dundee on loan, the 20-year-old Frenchman. And I think Stuart Taylor, who I mentioned there, was raging. He's now even more raging because he's been yellow carded. Dundee, the management team, will be hoping for one last push, but there's less than 3 minutes of the 90 left. It's Dundee 1, Aberdeen 2. Free kick to be taken by Devlin for Aberdeen, just inside his own half. Long ball down the right-hand side, looking for Ambrose. Couldn't quite get onto it though, and it's going to be turned back to his goalkeeper there by Kumiteo, and then out on the right. Dundee have it, long ball up towards Main. Flicks on really well. Vetro gets onto the header. Rubidzic, he's driving forward, and now on this left-hand side's an opportunity. Vetro across, cut out by Devlin. Dundee corner. It's really good play. Adewumi and Vetro on this near side, trying to cause problems. It is a corner, Willie.
It is just a corner, and Nicky Devlin again, really good defensive play, spotting the danger, getting himself out there. and managing to get the block, and it goes out for the corner. But again, it's swift, isn't it? It's from back to front so quickly. It's only a couple of passes and they're going from one box to the other.
Daniel Oyegoke's equalised for Hearts in stoppage time. It's been given to Shanklin, so Shanklin's off the mark for the season. 1-1. Cameron corner for Dundee, headed away by Ambrose. Really good header. Now it's with Cameron. Turns it high into the penalty area to the right hand side, where it's headed back towards the Aberdeen goal. Onto the roof of the net it goes, off a Dundee player last. Aberdeen goal kick. Dundee 1, Aberdeen 2, but Lawrence Shanklin being credited with the goal at Tynecastle. Hearts 1, Ross County 1. So at least under Liam Fox they'll stop all those defeats. By the looks of things, they are 8 minutes into stoppage time there. We're a minute away from finding out how much is going to be added on here at Dens Park. Dundee still alive, but the Aberdeen supporters, Willie, going by the reaction there, they seem to sense that victory's close.
Well, it is pretty close, isn't it? But take nothing away from Dundee. They've made Aberdeen work. It's certainly been a huge test for them, test of character. It's been a good performance from Dundee as well. So they've had to stand up and be counted, particularly defensively, because Dundee is certainly throwing everything at them. And Tony Dock won't be happy if it stays like this, but he will be content with what he's had out his players. His players have given him absolutely everything.
Portales infield to Cameron, fires it down that right hand side for Tiffany, looks up, first time right foot cross comes in, Curtis Main flicks for goal and Mitov holds on. Fabulous effort from the former Aberdeen striker as he attacked that one. He's very unlucky, but Mitov had to look lively at his near post, and it stays Dundee 1, Aberdeen 2. 3 minutes only being added on at the end. That's gone down like a real lead balloon amongst the Dundee supporters. That I personally thought there would be more than the 3 added myself.
Well, there's been a lot of substitutes as well, but I suppose there's been a few of them made at the same time as well, Liam, but stoppages too, so yeah, a little bit surprising that it's only the 3. Curtis Main, great effort there from Curtis Main. Tiffany doing well down the right hand side, and that little back healer as he went to the near post.
Zowen firing it forward to Shinnie. He's driving into the box on the counter for Aberdeen here. Ambrose is in the middle, so's Morris. Shinnie has it, left hand side of the box, turns it back there, looking for Bizawan, who doesn't manage to control it, and Dundee managed to get it away. Vetro has it nicked off him by Shayden Morris though. He's at the edge of the box on the slide, couldn't find Shinnie to his left or Bizawan, and Dundee come away with it with Cameron. Long ball forward, Rubidzic is underneath it, heads it to Devlin. Aberdeen so close to a 12th successive victory, but Dundee have a throw-in level with the Aberdeen 6-yard line on the near side. 2 of the 3 minutes that were added remain. It's with Kumiteo, low ball infield, Vetro leaves it to Adewumi. Now it's with Cameron to the right hand side of the box, headed away by Jack McKenzie. Dundee come again. There's still time for them to salvage a point from this match. They'll feel that's the least they deserve. Scott Fraser out to this near side, picked up by Vetro. And back infield it comes to Fraser, looks up at the Aberdeen box, steps away from Morris, down the left hand side touchline, gets the cross ball in, the header's over! It's Kumiteo, 6 yards out, heads it high and wide, and that might be Dundee's last clear cut opportunity, and he'll feel he is culpable for this defeat if it comes, after misjudging that long ball in the first half. Mitov booked for apparent time wasting, I think. Willie Miller, what a chance.
A big chance, huge chance. Kumiteo, you're expecting him, he's well above the Aberdeen defence. He's a huge unit himself. He's got to try and get that on target. Maybe comes off just a little bit at the top of his forehead, goes over the bar. Great cross in from Scott Fraser as well, who's come on as a substitute. But a big chance if he can get that one down, get it on target. That could have been, and perhaps should have been, the equaliser.
Some animation from Jimmy Tilleen down there as he encourages his players to get back into position. Dundee, long ball forward to the edge of the Don's box, comes off Main's head and goes behind for a goal kick. And Aberdeen are really close now, just about 20 seconds away. Jimmy Tilleen, the previous record at the start of an Aberdeen tenure for successive victories was 4. He's about to make it 12. And he'll equal the Scottish record set by Martin O'Neill as well. The home game against struggling Hearts to come off the back of a trip to Azerbaijan in the Conference League as well. I make it that the 3 minutes have come and gone. Long ball from Mitov. Dundee have no time left to play with really now. Robertson with the challenges, and it nicked off him by Ambrose, is now driving towards the right hand side of the box, pulls it back to Morris, low ball across to Vinny Bizowan on the left foot, and his efforts deflected behind for the corner. Aberdeen flickering into life in an attacking sense right at the last there. Aberdeen corner, and this is exactly what Jimmy Tilleen would have wanted.
Just run the clock down now.
No time to take it. 12 successive wins for Aberdeen, 12 in a row, top of the league for a couple of hours at least. They've been made to work for it big time here in Dens Park, though, as the Dons players and their 4,000 odd supporters there behind the goal and in the main stand off to our left celebrate as one. Kevin Nisbet and Topi Keskinen with the goals in the first half. Simon Murray's penalty gave Dundee a chance, and what a good performance it was from them. They just couldn't get past Dimitar Mitov, who made a couple of saves. Huge opportunities, in particular for Curtis Main in the closing stages of the match, and Billy Kumiteo as well with a header was their last opportunity. Tony Docherty will feel a sense of injustice today, but sometimes no matter how well you play, you just can't get the job done. And sometimes it doesn't matter how you play. If you win matches when you're not playing well, you kind of feel you're going to have a pretty good season, and it looks as though Aberdeen are going to have a pretty good season. Just how good, who knows? But they've strung together 12 successive wins at the start of 24-25. Jimmy Tilleen equals the Scottish record set by Martin O'Neill. And next up for them, Heart of Midlothian at Pittodrie a week tomorrow. It finished here at Dens Park. Dundee 1, Aberdeen 2.
Sports Sound on BBC